That was geez, that was Cookie Crumbler by Jeff Day from the Atomic Heart DLC soundtrack. Ooh, Atomic Heart, sort of a just like a middle of the road sort of game, but some real killers on the soundtracks, the main game and for the DLC. I'm a little bit red. My thoughts on the Habsburg family tree. It's more of a Habsburg family donut, isn't it? Is my understanding. Am I veining out today? I'm feeling very vascular. Tim, TOS, don't say it. You can call people inbred as long as you don't have a psycho on Twitch staff after you. That's it. Our dog's bad, we'll cover that. A lot of filler stuff today, and perhaps one non-fillery thing to look at and consider. And I did some warm up for one of the videos. I had to watch. You guys know Nerd Slayer Studios? Why was I late today? I'm not late. You're just in the wrong time zone. Also, Neko, I thought you'd appreciate being shown ads. Every ad you see on Twitch is another rocket fired towards Israel, or so I've heard. There was some cultural enrichment in Helsinki today. Was? I didn't see it. Ooh. We're gonna look at a little bit at a video about Prague, just because I thought it was interesting. Just because I thought it was amazing. Oh, you mean the sign? That's real. Are we going to talk about his spurging out? We're going to learn about his spurging out, because I skimmed a few Nerd Slayer Studios videos. I always get them recommended. The death of stuff, right? Oh, I need to change my stream countdown. You got me there. You got me there. I always forget to change it when the clocks change. What was I going? Watch some of that guy's stuff. Seemed pretty normal, so it'll be interesting to learn that he's gone nutto mode. Allegedly, Nerd Slayer Studios is a nut. And I think it would be interesting to learn about. It's such a weird spurg out. That's what I've heard. And a video from the 19th of October by Crab TV was recommended to me as a good overview of it. The original, yeah, I know yours is a shop, of course. I thought the original source may have been false as well, but we can peep that real quick. How do I feel about Dogpack downloading child sexual abuse material? Now, I was watching Chudword earlier. If one of his stories had been true, it's understandable. The story where Dogpack alleges having just downloaded a pile of logs that happened to include what might count as child sexual abuse material, and it being in, so he got his hands on some logs from some sort of Mr. Beast employee server or something, and in it, Chris Tyson talks about how, ooh, I've got an image that I think is of Ivanka Trump at 13. Ooh. And of course, Chris Tyson also shared it. I haven't seen the image. I haven't seen the censored image either. But in going after Mr. Beast, they shared whatever the image is on a video. Then they changed it to a censored version, and his story about what happened with that changed. Said a few different things. My overall take, Siffy, is he's incredibly fucking stupid. I think Chud's commentary focused on the extreme beast bloodlust clouding their judgment, such that they do something that's potentially, depending on how the material is actually classified, is very illegal. I'd take that a step further and say it's so... The degree is crazy to override self-preservation Like, what the fuck? If I downloaded a bunch of logs and it was like had someone going, "Oh, look at this kid," and then there was a picture, I would go to the authorities immediately and not do anything, just because my immediate instinct would be, "Oh, am I fucked?" Go to the police immediately and be like, "Hey, this is what happened. You can look at my shit. You can see what I was doing." Like, have the last thing you did on your computer be looking at that for the first time. Like, holy fuck. Don't fuck around with that. Don't fuck around with it. Just the idiocy is shocking. The self-destructive idiocy. Now, I haven't seen the image itself. I don't care to look for it. Maybe it isn't as it's described, but yeah. Mr. Beast's pedo shield. All of the work channels are full of CP, so no journos can dig through it. I believe, I'm aware that in the UK you have...
Harmful opinions is my
Hello,
god.
why Caron hate, thank you.
I will fuck with it. BTW, what are we talking about?
We're talking about the Dog Pack versus Mr. Beast stuff, and Rosanna versus Mr. Beast stuff. Oh, the Matt Rife? I posted it on Twitter. If you scroll through my media tab, I'm sure you'll hit it. I believe that there is protection for journalists looking into that stuff. So it's not like if you're legit and you are looking into the Mr. Beast story and there's stuff in the channels, you're not auto fucked. But coming across that, you should report it. You should not, just even if it's for your own sake. Like, you know you're not a pedophile. You know how you came across that. You know how it happened. Holy fuck, cover yourself if you end up with that on your computer because you're looking into Mr. Beast. I don't... it's just ludicrous to me. Crazy. Crazy. Suicidal. Self-destructive. How old is Dog Pack? I don't know specifically, but he's certainly an adult, if that's what you're asking. Never mind. Oh, Astro John, I saw your message. I was laying in bed. Well, I wasn't like under the covers all snuggled up. I was laying on my bed doing some Duolingo stuff when I saw your message. We can look at it though at some point. Please post that in reply to Nick Diorio or Chud on Twitter. It is a good little clip. I don't think I can download it directly. Oh no, I totally can. WebM. I don't think I can upload a WebM. Should I be suspicious if people call themselves citizen journalist after the Dog Pack thing? Yes, and not after the Dog Pack thing. I feel like citizen journalist is more a thing you should be described as, rather than a title you pick up and present as a credential. You get what I'm saying? It shouldn't really be something you adopt as a title. You should just be a citizen doing journalism while not being a professional journalist. Others will describe you and you can't be described as a citizen journalist. Right? No, Siffy Link.
You also have CP? Where?
the Matt Rife clip. Yeah. Oh. Just an issue in principle in regard to Chud's past couple thumbnails. I saw you in Chud's chat. Sure, but we can still talk about it. Because I think there's a distinction. I think you can certainly be critical of it. I don't think it represents a hypocrisy because it's not the same thing. In that, one could certainly be okay with Chud's thumbnail and not okay with Nuxtaku's, but you could also not be okay with Chud's. But I think the reasons for not being okay with them are probably significantly different. can look at. I've got something amazing to look at first. When I watch YouTube, I watch food channels. Ooh. Well, Nicanders, I'd say it's worse in degree and it's worse in character. Even just looking at the thumbnails alone, it's different in character as well, which we can talk about. Because I feel that like there may be a detail worth harping on slightly regarding the next thumbnails. But we'll see. Right. Oh no, Siffy, we're talking about something else entirely. We're not talking about Rosanna. We're not talking about the... Oh yeah, and supposedly, I didn't check into this, that Mr. Beast thing, which is separate to what we were just talking about. Apparently they put the Ivanka Trump picture, the Ivanka Trump edit, or whatever it is, in the thumbnail! Bro. Just lemming behavior. People are saying, and I saw this, they're saying Nick Dioreo's a shill for, attacking them. If you want the real conspiracy brain, what better defense, what better scenario could Mr. Beast have than his most dogged critics posting child pornography? What could benefit Mr. Beast more than that? What could benefit Mr. Beast more than that? If you want to do an insane conspiracy theory, someone's done something you'd have to pay me a bunch of money to do that helps them. Right? If I was going to attack Mr. Beast and post what I believe was genuinely child sexual abuse material or counts as actual child pornography on YouTube, I'd have to get those Mr. Beast bucks to do it, to help him by discrediting his critics through my actions as a critic. Right? I've been saved from that slip-up by the fact that I call Nick the Cookie Man, typically. So anyway, it's Messy Monday. We're going to do bits and pieces. We're going to look at the Nerd Slayer meltdown. I didn't know he was a nutto. I had no idea he was a nutto. I always see his Death of a Game things recommended, but we have something cool. We have a nutto. We have a random Lucky Dip Dementoid channel. Well, we don't know if he's a Dementoid yet. We'll get to it. But, fuck. Back to what I was saying. I watch food videos. I watch travel videos. That's what I do on YouTube. I only watch this weird drama shit on stream. I have to be getting paid to watch the shit I watch now. But on my off time, I watch Best Ever Food Review Show. I watch... Walter's World is a bit cringe, not quite to my taste, but I enjoy his stuff. He seems nice enough. I watch Gary Eats. I watch Greeno Eats. And there's a channel I've seen a few times called Honest Guide. And it is a Czech guy who just covers tourist activities in Prague, really. A lot of that. Gives you guides on what to do, what not to do, what's there, so on and so forth. And he did a sting. Not really a sting, but he did. You want to talk about citizen journalism? Anti-tourist scam journalism with a fucking confrontation. It's so good. It's so fucking good. Penguin, I think there will be more food vids, and they'll go on TikTok. He got them. It's so great. Genuinely, this isn't oh, I'm going to look at this guy's stuff, so I have to say subscribe to him. We're going to watch the ads. Haha. Genuinely subscribe to this guy. Even if you don't give a fuck about Prague, you have no intention of going there. Their videos are just really enjoyable and interesting. I find. Tourist shock stuff, whatever. Just how to avoid tourist trap stuff. Just interesting what's there. The fake, yes, his tourist food video with the crappy pastry and stuff. Just interesting if you're into food at all. His presentation's good. So, thank you for the bits.
イッカローネットジャード
X100
カランジ
Giado.
オンスクリーン
What's on screen? Charon's on screen. You want me to pay you in, what you pay Charon? It's not a doubloon. What you pay Charon to get across Hades? Oh, I'm also meant to be putting, the Pope's VTube avatar. Where's the Pope's VTube avatar? Oh, here it is. Maybe. Do I need to do a quick... I'm going to trans this really quickly. Unless someone already has a... Unless someone already has a trans version. Bunny, you're getting transed right now. Watch out. Hang on. It's being a pain in the ass. Let me add a trans layer. You can't see it, but what I'm doing right now is, and I'm not, this is going to be a quick and dirty trans. Which, everything I say just keeps making it worse. We're going to do some quick and dirty transing. Alright, real bathtub transing. Cut this out. Control A, delete. Paste. I want to do, crop the content. Export has a PNG. Let's call it Pope-chan. No, you fucking piece of shit. Be a PNG, you fuck! Did you know I make all my own thumbnails? There's a reason they're not great. .png. Export. Egg, skull, and headphones. Chat is Jewish. It means... Well, it means Twitch wants to get rid of you. If only it meant they didn't care. Ooh. Okay. Here we are. Secret new mascot. Oh. Let me make it so it goes underneath sorbet. Okay. That is the Pope's VTube avatar. There we go. We are indeed blessed now. The Pope's avatar in Asia. Anyway, if this is shown up on screen. So this guy rules. He rules. He will show you all the scams. He will show you all the good stuff. He tells you what to eat and what not to eat in Prague.
Hey, we're the guys from Prague, and we made a video about a crazy restaurant that we published. It went something like this.
I'm telling you. That's misleading. To nepotřebuji tady foty, já to vím, ty bloger.
Já nejsem bloger.
Ne, bloger.
You stupid blogger with the hard R.
And after we published that, we actually received this message. I'm not going to show you yet, because the
Get out of
information
here.
in it is...
It's like Stalker. Get out of here, blogger.
Unbelievable. Like, I was like, whoa, that is not possible in a city in Europe in the 21st century. Therefore, we have to clarify that.
Not possible in a city in Europe. I know what it is. This is overselling it, man. This is overselling it.
And you will see if what was in the message
Or maybe London standards are lower than elsewhere.
is true or not. But
Or
I'm
maybe
not
it just
going
means in the
because,
EU.
I'm like a superstar among people that cheat tourists.
But then,
so I'm going
you
to
know,
send
whatever.
Hamza, who's going undercover with his recording
Undercover journalism. Undercover journalism.
He's going to find out. Off you go. What is he looking at? There's nothing there.
So many stairs.
They blinded
I don't
him.
think so.
The restaurant is at the top of the steps so that you are tired, submissive, vulnerable, and breedable. Tourism in Belarus. Although I was going to say tourism in Britain. I have a video about a guy who was upset about visiting the UK. You can look at that as well.
Hey, sorry?
Maybe beer?
Yeah, beer? Sounds amazing.
This is very Asian coded. When I was in Australia, you'd get a bunch of people doing this, but it would literally just be the Chinatown joints in Sydney. I've never had this in a UK city where you have the outside chairs and you have people saying, "Hey, do you want food? Do you want a drink? Do you want this? Do you want that?" I had that in Australia in Chinatown though, where they were like, "You want dumpling? You want dumpling?"
Okay, thank you. Sorry, too many stairs. Big?
Beer?
Big.
Adderall?
And if you're wondering why we're going back to this restaurant at this time, it's because just recently the hygiene shut down one of the restaurants in Prague. And when we saw that post, we were like, oh, we better film this restaurant before they also shut it down, because it is in a pretty bad shape. Also, as you can see from my breathing, I'm also in a
Black
bad shape.
and white Coca-Cola.
Excuse me, what size of beer do you have?
Wait. Hold up.
So in a bad shape.
Excuse me, what?
Is that lacing on the glass, or is that just a huge fucking head? What am I looking at here?
What size of beer do you have?
Oh. Me love you long time against your will. Damn, what a generous beer. That's the small.
Little. Yeah, because this is what I didn't expect. That's normal? Nah. Okay. Cheers.
Oh, thanks, Grandma. I have to say, I hate that stuff. I hate it. I really hate it. I hate when you're in a foreign country and other tourists try to tell you about what's normal in the country you're visiting. Shut the fuck up. I don't care if you're even if you're correct, shut up.
Close.
Actually, hearing an American voice across on another table has triggered me. Reminds me of Iceland. With this fucking American broad. I'm allowed to say that I'm American. Talking about how things are in Iceland, and then just hacking her guts out constantly. Yeah, she was the one who was like, saying, "It's not COVID, don't worry." Bah, bah. Coughing up the whole cloud of malaise, cloud of plague, filling the restaurant visibly in the whole restaurant. And then she's like been watching Lucky Bee and I in Iceland at this nice restaurant. And she saw us, because what we do when we get different dishes, we let each other try our dishes so that we can try as many things from a restaurant as possible. I gave her a taste of mine, she gave me a taste of hers. And she did like a double duty, bitch out of her husband and weird like snitch on us, where her husband got their set menu and she ordered a la carte, so her husband had way more stuff than her, and he wasn't sharing with her. So she gets the waitress, and she'd been talking this waitress's ear off the whole time, and she's like, I'm so embarrassed. Well, we haven't been sharing our dishes, and look at them. And she gestures to us. They've been sharing everything. That's what we're supposed to do, isn't it? They're sharing. I'm so embarrassed. What the fuck? I couldn't tell if she was bitching out her husband or like tattling on us. Don't fucking involve me, plague bearer.
Just so you know how bad this restaurant is, this is once they last had their hygiene check. This is what it looked like inside. And
that shit's gonna burn down before your food gets to you.
It has appeared on multiple videos of ours and some other TV reports. That's why we always look forward to film there.
Yeah.
Is it possible to charge my phone?
Yes.
Look at this. Can I charge my phone? He's in.
Can I charge my phone? Thank you.
Looking a bit Resident Evil 7. This is the beer place, Siffy. Yes, it is. Your phone's gonna explode. Don't plug it in there. Thank you, Saint Sadistic. Siffy, wait. No, it gets so good. It gets so fucking good. Just wait.
So I just got a text from Honza, and what we thought is happening is actually true.
It's real. They got it.
That's steep.
Just wait until you fucking see it. Also, is that fucking... Pilsen. I presume that's the Pilsner. 110, so...
All right, let me unveil the
what's
secret,
Brannick?
what we're after here today. Honza just got his beer, and if you go to a normal pub, you usually, or at least here in Europe or in Prague, get a tap beer, draft beer from a keg. Nobody would ever pour it to you from a plastic bottle.
And if you do get a beer that's in a can or in a bottle, they bring you the can or the bottle, right? It's either gonna be if it's brought to you in a glass, it's draft.
Yes,
but
you're
wait.
hearing right. We were told, or the rumors were saying, that in this restaurant they actually pour one of the cheapest Czech beers from a plastic bottle to these liter.
Pouring these guys out white lightning. little white lightning. What do they call it? Not slag juice, tramp juice.
Mugs, and then they sell it at a very high price to tourists.
Siffy, just wait until you see the footage. Just wait.
So not only I read it in the message, I heard it from many people. I was like, well, we got to take a look at this. And the beer you're seeing right now, served to Honza, believe it or not, and Honza shot this award.
I've never seen beer in a plastic bottle in my life before either. Here we go. Hidden camera.
Award-winning
Spy
hidden
mode.
camera shot was poured from a plastic bottle.
Fucking look at that! Elder Scrolls Wood Elf serving you tramp juice out of a plastic
In a
bottle.
restaurant.
Look at that Mountain Dew.
Yeah. It's just weird.
Excuse me, where's the toilet? Toilet? Thank you.
Beer in plastic bottles at a sporting event makes sense, and you're gonna get raped on the price because it's at a sporting event, right? To have it not be in a breakable bottle. Here you can get like a pint at a sporting event in a plastic pint glass. Like the plastic pint glass is anti-shatter and stuff.
Yes, hello and welcome to Prague.
Holy fuck.
I'm a journalist and I filmed something about it. May I ask you, how was the experience?
We had just only beer.
Only beer? And what
was
kind of
big.
beer? It was the large beer?
Yeah.
Was it
It was big.
draft?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Was it...
Bro. Come on. It's gonna be obvious when you're tasting it. Maybe it's the I was gonna say Halloween endorphins. Sorry. Maybe it's the holiday high, the good feelings making them think it's better than it is.
Was it Pilsner beer?
Come on.
It was nice?
It was nice, yeah.
Uh-huh. How much did you pay for it?
250.
Uh-huh. And what if I told you that the beer was actually poured from a plastic bottle?
Oh, really?
That's why we're filming it.
Yeah, it's not my surprise because it's this area, so.
Yeah.
What? Wait, what? If I said that, Lucky Bee would slap my arm and be like, "Why did you let us drink or eat here? Why did you let us sit down here?" If I was like, "Yeah, I'm not surprised we got ripped off. It's because it's this area." Lucky Bee will be fucking mad at me.
Hello. You have tab beer?
Beer, yes, we have.
And you have Pilsner tab beer?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so Jo, vy nás znáte, kluci z Prahy, to je super, já jsem Jarek, dobrý den.
Dělala na YouTube.
Jo, to je super. Jsme
It's
právě tady,
over.
protože vy máte čepovanou Plzeň tady.
A čepovanou, no jo?
Fakt? Vy máte čepovanou, jo? Vážně?
Tak chcete? Půl litru?
Čepovaný Plzně? No to si dám klidně. To víš, tak to nabralo nečekaný twist.
Może chcete něco k jídlu?
Jasně,
The explicit lie, man.
podívám se, děkuju. Vy máte i menu s cenama, jo, teda? Jo. Že tohle je bez cen, jasně.
Yeah, this guy just generally covers like what's good, what's not necessarily bad or a scam, but is like this is total tourist trash. He covers that and other places too.
Já nevím, jestli mi buší srdce nervozitou nebo vzrušením.
Just wait, Whaler.
A to máte? Nemáte točenou Plzeň. Jenom v plechovce máte. Aha, tak to si nedám. Jo. A jaký máte jiný piva? Tmavý koza. A ten je čepovaný? Aha, takže vy máte jenom z plechovky pivo. Jo, tak to si nedám asi.
It's not even in. Okay, I don't speak the language. Is she? Does anyone know? Is she explicitly saying cans, or is he just using can and like plastic bottle explicitly?
No, tak to si nic nedám. A můžu se zeptat, já jsem slyšel, že vy tady lejete pivo jako z plastových lahví.
Oh! It's so good. This video is so fucking good. Sub to these guys.
To není pravda. Fakt, jo? Jasně. Tak jo. This means that I should stand up and
She's
get
getting
out
the
of here, or-
cleaver. This is Czech Louis Theroux.
What was that? No, we don't serve beer from plastic bottles, and she leaves. I believe there must have been a very long discussion inside. Should we pour it from the bottle and then claim it's tapped?
Lived here for 10 years and still cannot speak Czech. Is it a hard one or are you just lazy?
Mohl bych se zeptat,
Sorry if that comes off as
paní
offensive.
Procházková, aby si se mnou popovídala? Není tady paní Procházková. Jasně. Ona tady není stejně jako, že nelejete to pivo z těch PET lahví, nebo tady...
She's not here the same way as you don't pour the beer from a plastic bottle?
Se snažím zorientovat v tom.
Oh, okay, if it's anything like Polish. I looked into Polish. It's fucked. Even just a lot of languages, you can say certain phrases and have it be recognizable to a native speaker. There's a lot of shit in Polish where you try to learn a single phrase by rote and then you say it to a native speaker and they're like, what the fuck are you saying? To me, that's an indicator of it being fucking hard.
A chtěl bych si objednat paní Procházkovou. Večer, kolem 7 hodiny. Tak já počkám, děkuju. Mně to je strašně trapný, fakt se na mě nezlobte. A já bych si nikdy nedovolil říct, že nalejváte pivo z PET lahve. Jo?
Both are West Slavonic language, of course they're similar. Consider Korean versus North Gyeongsang Korean. There are some even dialects that are extremely different from the I guess you'd call it mother language. With NKS Korean being absurdly difficult compared to standard Korean.
Jo? Kdyby mi to neřeklo víc lidí a následně
And being a tone stress language, whereas Korean isn't.
mě to tady neviděl můj kolega.
Aha, tak rozumím.
Jo? Takže moje otázka je, jestli takhle to děláte normálně.
Or rather pitch stress, sorry.
No to není, nemám. Není to pravda.
Není to pravda, neděláte to prostě. Jo? Dobře.
It's impossible to hear me? What do you mean? Do you want me to yell? Do you want me to scream directly into your asshole? I mean, I can turn it up. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you desired?
Dobrý den. Dobrý den, mohl bych se vás zeptat, měl byste vteřinku na mě? Já se jmenuji Janek Rubeš, já myslím, že už jsme spolu jednou telefonovali.
I have the low energy voice again. Maybe because I didn't see a doctor today. Maybe because, amazingly, they fixed their phone service, which meant I got right through at 8 o'clock in the morning. I got through. It didn't say disconnected. Right? Let me through. It didn't let me. Normally, you get through and you press 1 fucking immediately to skip through to the queue that you want to be in. However, now it forces you to wait. I got in queue. Thank you for waiting. You are caller number 57. Press 1 for a callback. Or stay on the line if you wish to wait. So I pressed 1, got a call back, all the appointments were gone. So tomorrow, I'm going to start calling before they open.
Jo, to já asi nepotřebuji, paní Procházko, mám se s ním
Got
povědět.
her on the phone.
Dobrý den, ta vaše restaurace je turistická past.
Ale já nevím, proč si to všichni myslí. Já fakt nevím. Teď ty lidi dostanou lístek, vidějí, co stojí.
Teď tam nejsou ceny na tom lístku. Já jsem Janek, dobrý den. Já tady mám mikrofon, to je jasný. A můžu se vás zeptat, my jsme, paní Procházková, můžu se zeptat.
Look at the markup cuck. What the fuck? Have some respect, young man. Let's just say I'm very old. 419 check whatevers. How much was it?
My jsme,
Is that 100% markup? Wasn't it like...
děláte, že nemluvíte? Přijde vám to jako řešení? Vy tady,
Imagine if he just started breaking their building. Oh, 2 liters is 419? I didn't catch that. I didn't look at it properly, I just looked at the price. Holy balls.
Naléváte jako pivo z petek? Vy nám to napíšete. Já se jenom chci zeptat, mě zajímá, proč tady máte pípu Pilsner Urquell, ale naléváte pivo z petek Berlínka.
The eyes! I heard some sort of video game alert noise. Sound effect. They know! Shut it down! This Kudusi. Oh, we have a cleaned up transed Pope. Get flexed on. Hey, look. I was in a rush to just trans this child. You don't always get good results when you're rushing to trans a child. All right. Pope John has been cleaned up.
After like 5 minutes of complete silence, the, I guess, owner went to the other room, shut the door, and left the restaurant abandoned. The kitchen is left abandoned.
Free beer for everyone.
The register, everything. It's kind of weird. Vy si s náma opravdu nepopovídat, mně to přišlo jako hrozně fér, že bychom si o tom mohli promluvit. Já vás nechci obvinit z toho, že tady naléváte pivo z petek, kdyby to nebyla pravda.
My AI check bar simulator game has broken. The NPCs are no longer responding. Oh yeah, Lankzos. Hang on. I've Lankzosed the child. Let me slide this baby down. Right? There we go. Beautiful.
Ano.
You always distort everything. What? Like light through curved green plastic? You never filmed something the way I said it. You have AI filters on your microphone. Your camera lies. Literally, like, your camera fucking lies.
Strašně rád celou tuhle větu, kterou jste teď řekla, tam nechám v tom videu a slibuju, že to udělám. Proto jsem se jenom chtěl...
This is mean? The fuck you mean, Jason? What do you mean, this is mean? Explain yourself. Instantly. Obnoxious glasses and ass flicker? Sorry, he flickers his ass? Also, someone said draft beer is overrated. Pill time. By pill, I mean it's time for some fresh gum. Where's the one that has stuff? Okay, there we go. canned or bottled beer and draft are definitely distinctly different. Typically, I would say I prefer draft. Sometimes I prefer the qualities that come with a certain beer in the can versus draft.
Zeptat. Natočil jsem, jak tady nalíváte hostům místo čepované Plzně braník z plastu. Je to pravda? Nebo respektive, já vím, že to je pravda.
Je to pravda a opravdu se s váma
It is not true! Denial is not the strategy here, man. You have to be like, yeah, it's fine. We don't tell people it's draft beer.
bavit, protože vždycky tu reportáž uděláte, jak se vám to hodí.
In a way that suits you.
Miluju tady tuhle restauraci.
What a just ludicrous fucking claim, considering he has videos on his channel that are like, this place is great. Even in his video where he's like, yeah, this whatever it's called, that cone, that pastry cone that they call traditional that isn't traditional, he shits on all the bad ones, but he goes around and he goes like, yeah, it's like just for tourists, it's not legit. But he went through a couple places where he was like, you know what, this is pretty tasty sort of thing, and this is fine.
Jsem tady strašně dlouho, vážím si všech hostů, vážím si i vás, ale mám ráda, když lidi mluví pravdu a neskreslujou to.
I like when people tell the truth.
Opravdu děláte.
Dobře. Eventually, the owner of the restaurant decided to talk to us if we turn off the camera, which we did. And she turned out to be a very nice lady that happens to run a restaurant that's sort of old school, or let's put it...
Come on. No. Well, I'm willing to say she's straight up a scammer on the basis that I wish as well. I wish the guy who'd gone in first, who they wouldn't recognize, had asked if it was on draft. I don't think he did.
Old style, 90s style maybe here in Prague. Our views of the tourist world are quite opposite, I would say. And she sees nothing wrong about pouring beer from a plastic bottle, cheap beer, to a large liter.
She lied to your fucking face. She said, no, we don't do that. She's not a nice lady.
Glass to tourists. I simply found that interesting to say the least. She says that she loves...
If they told you, hey, do you want this particular beer? And weren't on record lying about what you're getting, fine. You can sell shitty, cheap beer. Can't lie.
This place, she loves the restaurant. She even thought that we're making these videos because we want to get her out of the place so we can start our own business. Nope, we do not. We simply...
Come on, bro. Do you believe that she believes that?
We went here again because we were told by so many people that this is happening.
The fucking beer barrow! The homeless person beer barrow, dude!
And even if we're told by many people, we still want to see it with our own eyes. Ideally have a video of that, which is what we did. Again, the lady turned out to be very nice. I'm not saying we became friends. No, don't get me wrong. But hey, we have different views of the world.
Honest guide man. Con men. Confidence men. Confidence scams. Being nice is a big part of that.
I think this is too much for us. We went too deep into this restaurant hall. I'm the only person that can fix the issue here on this.
No! What is this? I think I didn't watch the very end. No, shut up. You did fucking great. You did great. You did it perfectly.
Stairs is Gordon Ramsay. Hey, if you happen to watch, come to Prague. There's a restaurant that really needs your help. I mean, like, they really need your help. Till then, bye-bye. And in the end, I'm gonna...
You are a beer hipster. You think, okay, N-Bomb, riddle me this. Do you think preferring draft Guinness makes you a hipster? Preferring draft over like a widget can makes you a hipster?
teach you a Czech word, and that is how to say a lie in Czech. It is lež. Lež is a lie. And Janek is sweating. Janek se potí, because it's hot. Je horko. Je to moc vidět, jak
Lež.
jsem spocený?
Lež. Come eat here, get fucked. Cute at the end that he was like, here's the word for lie. Find good beer places in Prague through our maps, and he stuff. If I was going to go to Prague, I would be all over this guy's stuff. Yeah. Seems fantastic. Phrase it like a riddle. Riddle me this, Batman. What comes in a Mountain Dew bottle but tastes like piss? Ooh. You only drink high alcohol by volume cheaper beers because you're not a beer hipster. I thought beer hipsters were the people who drink high ABV craft beers and are like, oh, I just like the art. But then you look at what they're drinking and they'll have like 10% beers. And it's like, okay, you're using the price to justify being an alcoholic. You're making it seem like you're a gourmand or something. A beer, is it a different word? Now I can't remember the word for a wine expert. My brain's breaking down as you watch. Shit, whatever. Sommelier, yes, thank you. Are experts in beers also sommeliers, or is that specific to wine? I'm not enough of a beer hipster to know. You need a Somalian to tell you. Is it Cicerone? Cicerone? Chacaron, macaron. Right. That was a cool video I wanted to show you, because I think this is fucking sick. This, to me, is fucking... This is what I call 10 out of 10 content. We're going to go to some nega content, though. We're going to go to some content that might be below 0 in terms of its score, but who knows? I'm biased because I like dogs. I like dogs. This man does not like dogs. K-Nun. Get it? Like K9, but he wants none of them. K-Nun official. 963 subs. 459 videos. Nega. N-E-G-A, as in negative. The other side of 0. Bringing down dog culture. One video at a time. They do, I believe, also have an anti-dog manifesto. Oh, the secondary channel. I guess it's just a defense if they get back. Oh, no, there is stuff. The existence of stray dogs disproves blame the owner, not the dog. How? The argument's going to be, look how they behave without the influence of an owner. The owner should have control of their animal. The problem is not necessarily just aggression, but the owner does not have control of their animal. Like, a lot of these big aggressive dogs, it's not just that they're allowed to have that demeanor that means they'll attack. They should be in the physical control of their owner if there's any risk of that dog getting away. Anyway, let's check this out.
When a dog does something terrible because it is...
Fucking dog ripping my wallpaper down? The jumping wallpaper dog.
It's in the dog's nature to be that way. Apologists will line up to tell you all about how it wasn't the poor doggy's fault. For instance, when a dog harasses or attacks someone.
I'm a dog lover and I wouldn't even say that. Yeah, obviously. Fucking feral dogs, yes. Humans are a moderating influence and a controlling influence. Should be in control of the animal.
Or when it engages in
the dog's demeanor shouldn't fucking matter because you should have control of it.
Property destruction. Even if the owner is nowhere to be found, or even if there is no owner, it is somehow the owner's fault.
Oh, was that the mic drop?
Except for when a dog kills someone, in which case, I suppose suddenly the owners would not want to take responsibility.
I think they should be forced to, though, yeah.
Of course, this is a false dichotomy, which is defined as a logical fallacy in which a spectrum
Oh
of
my
possible
God.
options is misrepresented as an either-or choice between two mutually exclusive things, when in reality,
I have a bad feeling he's going to present one side of a false dichotomy as being the truth.
there are multiple possibilities. It's not an either-or thing. In this case, both the dog and the owner can be blamed. It's not one or the other. The owner
Oh, okay.
is responsible for having the dog at all. That is what they shouldn't be doing, and we can all agree. However,
Wait! Hold! All dog owners are responsible for the crime of having a dog.
the dog
I'd agree with the first statement. The first part of that statement. The first part of this. Not the owner has responsibility as well. After all, they owned a dog. That's their first strike.
dog is still the direct, most immediate identifiable cause of its own actions. Suppose a pit bull did what pit bulls do. Taken to its logical conclusion, this would mean that the owner was responsible for the mauling. But
Yes, I think a dog's owner should be held responsible for the behavior of the dog. Yes.
dogs have their own drives and motivations.
Stop. He's lost in the sauce to the point where he's making arguments about culpability regarding an animal. He's arguing like mens rea on behalf of the dog in a mauling.
And these are external to those of their owners. Being a dog
Yes.
does not mean you can't be the direct cause of something bad, which is really what we're talking about here.
We need to bring that dog to court. What the fuck are we listening to?
Just imagine if the dog were no part of the equation. Suddenly, there would be nothing to
Like, what the fuck am I listening to?
blame anyone over. The dog is the root cause.
When you destroy a wild animal that's harmed someone or is a threat, you're not doing it because of a moral judgment regarding their culpability. You're treating them as an animal and as a risk. You don't even need to like take into consideration the dog's drives or anything. The dog's drive is what makes it a risk. Its demonstrated behavior and tendencies are what makes it a risk. It's done it. It's absolutely shown that it's not under anyone's control. Sorry, bro, you have to be destroyed. But it's not. You don't have to prove that the dog has responsibility in the same way that a person would. Like, what is
Of course, this is
like he's doing the opposite of making it easier for himself. He's put up a barrier he doesn't even need to get over.
is nothing more than an attempt to downplay the severity of the violation perpetrated by the dog.
What the fuck? No.
This point about who or what is to be blamed is very tedious. Even if you want
Why are you doing it?
to argue that dogs have no impulse control, which of course is true, they nonetheless remain the sole cause of whatever actions they themselves choose to carry out.
No. Not if they have an owner who has taken responsibility for the animal. You're responsible for not controlling it. Consider an extreme example of owning an animal like a pit viper. If that pit viper hurts someone, it's the responsibility of the owner for not containing it.
The fact that a dog is highly instinct-driven and has no capacity to self-regulate is precisely what makes it a bad fit for human society. It is
It's like he's arguing against a phantom of someone who thinks dogs should have rights in the same way that a human should have. They're not He's talking as if they're a part of society.
Not an excuse to allow something that behaves that way to be on human territory.
To be on human territory. Now he's like dehumanizing people.
Let's go back to ownership. This is only a
Yeah, they're dumb animals. That's why it's okay to totally dominate them and shape them. I was gonna say to fit our desires, but that has furry connotations. What I mean is like eugenics programs on people, no. On dogs, yeah, it's called breeding and it rules. You can get all sorts of cool animals and dominate them and totally control their behavior. By force. Put them on a leash, muzzle them.
Prior cause. But when you're walking in a parking lot and some hideous abomination comes out of nowhere to latch onto your leg.
Hey, look. Kids can be annoying, but that's a bit far.
The dog that is biting you in that moment is obviously the problem. It goes without saying that the owner shouldn't have a creature that is capable, and often willing, to do something like this. But the dog is the actual...
Why not? That person shouldn't have it, sure. What does this guy think about zoos?
...entity that is aggressing against you, very directly.
Very directly. As opposed to the dogs who, like, commit mail fraud. Maybe he is anti-zoo. This is fucking incredible. Thank you to the person who brought this to my attention. Dog nutters and their dogs created our movement. Irresponsible dog owners, sure. And irresponsible doesn't just mean regarding training. It's not like, oh, the dog is that way because it wasn't trained right. Its owner shouldn't let it be in a position where it could harm someone. Dog culture is extreme. The big lie! At one time, Europeans hated dog. Holy fuck, this is so fucking good. Why the anti-dog movement is so important. Holy shit, this is amazing!
Greetings. The following is primarily aimed at those who may be hesitant to opine strongly about dogs one way or the other, but
this video is to appeal to the dog centrists. This video is for people who don't feel one way or the other. What the fuck is this? This isn't real. Are you out of your... Well, we know he's out of his mind. Oh.
who can probably be persuaded, provided that they are presented with a compelling enough set of arguments. I would suggest that...
Congratulations, you just entirely undermined your strategy by saying what your target audience is and what you're trying to do. Hey, are you an ignorant fence-sitter? I want you to listen to this because I think you'll be easier to convince. Just dumb on all levels.
Dog defenders are likewise welcome to listen to this audio presentation with an open mind. But unfortunately...
What if I don't have an open mind?
It is abundantly clear that...
What's the Dawkins thing? Good to have an open mind, but not so open that your brain falls out.
They are more likely to respond to the video title alone, ignoring all the actual content. It is a good bet, as evidenced by all...
Preemptive bad faith accusation. Incredible.
...manner of historic precedent with regard to this matter. If I were to address dog owners exclusively, such a work would surely be a non-starter. Those in the pro-dog crowd are often quick to call us
the pro-dog crowd
extremists, but the dog worshippers among them are nothing if not extreme. However, even the moderates among them wish to promote the idea that we can criticize individual dog owners, but not dog ownership as a whole. I would...
Yeah, you can. Arguments presented so far I think are retarded, though.
Say that they see it fit for us to criticize individual dogs, namely those they see as poorly behaved due to alleged mismanagement by their owners. But it seems we have reached a level of delusion impossible in previous generations. These days, criticizing dogs for being exactly what they are is seen as some sort of social taboo. Every dog sympathizer will recoil at the mere suggestion that a dog is capable...
Dog sympathizer!
...of doing something terrible, and this is based on their sense that the very idea is excessively repulsive. Which is ironic, because dogs have proven themselves to be exactly that. Excessively repulsive. We know...
If they were merely repulsive within acceptable limits, that would be fine, but they are excessively repulsive.
Full well what dogs are capable of, because they show us all the time. We require no lesson from dog apologists on the true nature of
Does he know what humans are capable of?
dogs, which is evident from our encounters with them, and our observations of them.
If he's going to argue entirely from what something can do,
As there
are some weird paths. If he doesn't provide qualifiers,
constant transgressions are caught on film. And, it should be noted, their well-documented attacks and frequent involvement in dog-originated conflict and turmoil as well.
Dog-originated turmoil. I would suggest that dogs are involved in dog-originated turmoil 100% of the time, in fact.
We recognize that the problem with owners is that they choose to have dogs, because said dogs inevitably come into contact with people, which regularly spells trouble for all parties involved. We judge dogs themselves as inherently problematic precisely because we
Nice. I consider that a total victory, Whaler. Good.
see them for what they are. Nothing more, nothing less. While not every dog will bite someone, every dog is capable of doing so, and many dogs do. Plenty of them will. It is difficult for those of us in the non-dog owning public to know which ones will, or not, or when. From our perspective, it is better that no one has a dog, because then we will be certain that no dogs will ever attack anyone. On a collective level, all dogs contribute directly and indirectly
Wonder what else you can apply these to.
to harm. This is a major detail that is frequently overlooked by dog adherents and sympathizers of
Dog adherence! It just keeps getting better.
all stripes. It is a complete mystery to me how having a
Bro, what do you think about cars?
dog is socially acceptable. If that sounds like an extreme statement, chances are that you haven't had a lot of contact with.
Of course, the counter-argument will be like, a car doesn't have a mind of its own. Yeah, but look how many car crashes happen. How many car crashes would happen if no one had cars?
Dogs. In my experience, this is something that is increasingly and unfortunately rare these days. I wish I could be so lucky to seldom if ever encounter a dog anywhere. Those in the anti-dog crowd will wrongly accuse us of doing everything short of seeking out dogs to inflict pain on. But we would do well to remember that it is dog owners themselves who make it impossible for us to avoid dogs. I am planting a flag there because what we wish to do is not encounter dogs. We do not seek them out. So long as dogs still exist, especially the monster maulers, bully breeds, and
So long as dogs still exist.
massive mastiffs and so on, we will inevitably struggle with these problems, especially when these breeds, and really all or any breeds, continue to see the population explosion that was identified as far back as the 1970s. But this is what's really crazy. For simply describing
Dogs will not replace us! Dogs will not replace us!
dog owners and dog behaviors exactly as they are, I have actually been called intolerant, if you can believe it. Imagine thinking that everyone has to.
I'm sensing a very binary read of what my take in the video is. I believe capitalism needs strong, well-enforced rules to stop it being overly exploitative. Yeah, that's what my bitchy comment's about. That's what my bitchy comment where I'm like, libertarian roots coming out, huh? Not following these restrictions?
Like dogs, or accept and tolerate them. We are under no obligation to like or tolerate these creatures.
I'm sensing extra chromosomes.
In fact, we have every reason not to. And while all who actively and passively continue to propagate the continued existence of dogs are obviously a huge and
Actively and passively.
major part of the core problem, dogs are the real enemy. Any given dog out there can easily and quickly turn the best day into the worst type of day a person can have. The less we have to interact with dogs, the better. Here is something to seriously ponder. It is quite common for pro-dog people to get very irate when others say that they don't like their dogs in general, or even just what their own dogs are doing. This even happens when we have every reason in the world to feel this way. But they fail to consider the following distinct possibility. When we criticize dogs, that is not intended as a personal attack on them. It is the dog we have an issue with. If there were no dog around, we'd have no reason to dislike these people by association. At the level of the
dislike by association.
Individual dog owner, all we see in practice is entirely too much free rein. Like a dog on a retractable leash or none at all. As a group,
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Dog owners are a clearly identifiable group that simply can't be trusted with the safety of the general public.
Dog owners are a clearly identifiable group, but by the fact that they own a dog that can't be trusted. As a group, sure. I would suggest that dogs above a certain size perhaps even require some sort of license and registration, which is in part happening in the UK.
These people aren't rational actors.
Same way other higher risk animals do.
They're not conscientious or considerate folk. They are as far away from that as you can get. And as long as they remain unchecked, we will only get more and more of the same. They do not fear consequences because there aren't any for them, in the vast majority of cases. And the most alarming part of this is the widespread social acceptance they have managed to acquire. They also endeavor, wherever possible, to
They have managed to acquire. He makes it sound like they're going to take over the world.
change existing legislation in their favor.
Do you think this guy knows where dogs came from?
They treat decency with disdain. They create noise, filth, pestilence, danger, and hazardous working conditions and living conditions wherever their lifestyle choice is allowed to take root. It seems they enjoy
Wherever dog-owning lifestyles are allowed to take root.
contributing these things to the world. They are so despicable, some of them, that they cheer human suffering on as long as a dog is the cause of it.
What the fuck?
This is no exaggeration. It is not
Not exaggeration, perhaps, in the case that you can find an individual doing that. I think it is an exaggeration to suggest that any significant number of dog owners are like, fuck yeah, look at that guy getting eaten alive by a pit bull.
hyperbolic. The evidence of this is all around you. All you have to do is start talking honestly about problems caused by dogs. And before you know it, you will be on the receiving end of the dog worshippers' intense anti-human vitriol. Sure.
Dog owners' intense anti-human vitriol.
Surely some mechanism must exist by which to govern the activities and abilities of dog owners and would-be dog owners everywhere. Why? Because the dog world creates pure pandemonium and is anarchic. Dog owners of all classes are terrorizing, destroying, and impoverishing the planet via their deranged consumer
Impoverishing the
lifestyle
planet?
choices. All it takes to turn any neighborhood, anywhere, into a complete shambles is
Okay, this might entirely be allegorical.
to introduce the presence of dogs. This really bears emphasis. Dog owners
This line in particular is like, okay, all right, maybe it's a dog whistle entirely.
brazenly disregard important safety laws and rules that would at least somewhat minimize their impact if only they were adhered to. In real-world practice, their constant trespasses are overlooked. The world needs to quit giving dogs a pass, starting at the highest levels. It needs to start putting the screws down, which in real-world practice entails the employment of forcible means, namely governmental means. Sadly, it seems that will
Such
never
as-
happen. But this is only
It's already happening in the UK.
because dogs are profitable and inexplicably popular at this moment in time.
Inexplicably popular. Bro, do you know where dogs come from? How did we end up with dogs? Why do we have them? Now, here's the thing. You might think, oh, it is someone just doing an edgy race take, swapping in dogs. Look. 12 videos, 34 subs. However, this is the secondary channel. Main channel, 459 videos. Is it all dog stuff? Dogs ruin Halloween every year. Let's go. What else do we have? Seeds of hatred for dogs and dog culture. This has to be about dogs. Obviously, the sort of rhetoric parallels to human race. and is used that way. But I think it's incidental that it comes off that way because of that. I think this is on its face about dogs. I could have just sorted for oldest, but... Anti-dog memes compiled from the web. Dogs-owned compilation. Are these all unique? Dogs are a social pollutant. Dogs being absolute pests. Level 4 dog nut depicted. Why the anti-dog community is not a cult, a thorough debunking. Holy shit. What natural canines look like, dogs are not natural. Take issue with the word natural, but I know what he means by that. Yeah, and that's a good thing. We bred them to be really cool. Like, what do you mean?
It is not because dogs are good or because dog ownership is a valid consumer choice. It is not. At this point, this whole dog thing borders on human sacrifice and dog worship. If you still think our position is an extremist one, consider this. If a person did half the things a dog is liable to do at any given moment, dog owners would hate them for that exact same behavior. They wouldn't care if it was because of the way those people were raised and socialized or not.
You can include, like, shitting on the ground outside in that. Sure.
Everybody would reject the presence of anything else that had the impact dogs have on communities. Another thing I would like to address, I don't go out of my way to hate dogs. Dogs...
Really? Come on. Come on.
are the ones that are in the way. Dogs and dog owners force people to go out of their own way to avoid them. Dogs create messes, tragedies, and problems for us to solve. And they make more dogs sometimes, which just makes...
Somehow these dogs are making more dogs. We haven't figured out how yet, but once we do, we will stop it.
It's even more problems. Dog owners often acquire raging behemoths that they almost certainly couldn't physically control if the beast was sufficiently motivated to attack another living thing. It's like we're living in a bizarro world, or the Twilight Zone. They parade these mauling machines around and then act offended when people are understandably concerned for their own safety, or that
This shit, true. People get huge dogs they can't control.
of the general public. They surely must know that dogs routinely attempt to assault people, charge and lunge at them, bark just because they
Routinely.
spot someone, and crap everywhere. They can't not know this. No honest person could plead ignorance here. And those last few sentences, that is a lot of it in a nutshell. We reject the presence of dogs because they objectively cause a ridiculous number of negative externalities for the whole of society. It is something with few historical parallels, but people smoke.
This isn't someone dog whistling. This is
Smoking
face
everywhere is a
value.
close one. And that, thankfully, now a thing of the past. Just like dog ownership should be. We reject the presence of dogs in society because dogs poison literally everything. This is, again,
literally everything.
not a hyperbolic statement. They erode social cohesion, routinely attack and harass people, and
But then it's crazy because he's saying everything you'd think he was saying.
terrorize them. They inconvenience, annoy, injure, hospitalize, disfigure, and kill human beings. They cause a significant number of otherwise completely avoidable societal problems, and a great variety of them. They regularly disturb our peaceful existence, and they can be incredibly destructive to the dwelling spaces where their nutter owners harbor them. It is impossible to
I'm going nutto mode. I'm going dog nutto mode.
own a dog and have a clean house at the same
It's my favorite Star Wars character, Dog Nutto.
time. And dogs affect us in ways that are difficult to fully quantify. Dogs even have a hugely negative environmental impact, which cannot be overlooked either.
Damn. What else we got? Oh, that's a spoiler. This guy, we're going to judge... I haven't looked at any of his videos. We're going to judge whether he's a Dementoid or not, or if he's just me. Okay. What's main channel content like? This one might be good. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Community posts. I now have a community section on my second channel. Also, the video is up. On the Netflix show Family Reunion, there's a part where someone mentions how marijuana is legal in over 30 states. Medea responds by saying, "So is kissing your dog in the mouth, but that don't mean you should do it." Now, I don't agree that smoking or selling cannabis is bad. No? You don't think you could apply some of your arguments about dogs to cannabis being widely available? Okay. But I think that's a great line. There's almost no mention of dogs in this entire show. And the only other line hinting at dogs is one that doesn't mention them directly. Also said by Amelia Medea, and is a reference to rats. The line was something like, "A pet is something you can walk, a rat is just cat food." Which is not good because it's an endorsement of dogs as pets! This is the Anita Sarkeesian of dogs! And was a reference to a loose rat that turned out to be someone's pet in the show. Animal bigotry right there. But aside from those two lines thus far, there's not even any mention of dogs, and you never see or hear them in this show at all. But anyway, I love it when shows don't have dogs in them. Or when they aren't constantly portraying dogs as good. It should be common sense that it's discussed. We need like a sweet baby detective for like sweet doggy detective. So people can avoid dog ideology being spread in video games and movies and shows. It should be common sense that it's disgusting to make out with a dog. Yeah, it is. But this line is very controversial among dog nutters / zoophiles. Not that this guy was mauled. I guarantee you. Not that their opinion matters, just saying. More shows should criticize the nastiness and depravity of dog culture, but most seem to cater to these weirdos. Hey. Oh, these aren't multiple days? These are just the posts for today. Oh, this might be good. Holy moly. Okay. There is real evil in this world. Anyone who deliberately harm another purely for the enjoyment of it is evil. And here I especially mean like serious intentional harm. Causing someone else to experience suffering for absolutely no justifiable reason, that is evil. Alright. This is exactly what dogs do, by the way. They're dumb animals. Yes, there are people who do unspeakable things, but that's not most people. Well, arguably there is something seriously wrong with an antisocial person. That is not the norm for our species. However, the same cannot be said of dogs. There is something that's perfectly normal in Canis lupus familiaris. I don't like seeing dogs harm humans. I don't like seeing them harm animals. I frankly don't even feel satisfaction if a dog tears apart a terrible person. Is this common? The people are like, fuck yeah, the dog got this guy. How often are you? Probably a lot. He's probably looking into this. And in fact, I still hate it. I don't even like watching dogs attack other dogs or fight each other. They are just so repugnant and so given to violence. I don't think dogs should be around to attack anything or anyone. It's a perverse, manufactured animal behaving like a bloodlusted asshole. It should never happen. I wonder if his dog video suggests, is he gonna appeal to the cowardice of wolves? And so, like, wolves will stay away from you. I'm telling you, I don't care if it's a police dog going after a very horrible person. I don't like the idea of them getting seriously injured by one of these fugly hellhound GSDs. Wait. What is this paragraph? I don't like the idea of someone being torn apart by lions or snatched up by a crocodile either. But the idea of it does not fill me with revulsion. and does not make me cringe like the thought of dogs doing it to someone. At least you didn't get eaten by a dog, Henry. At least the croc got you. If the croc didn't kill him, he could have been gotten by a dog, so really it did him a favor. Can't even express how wrong I think the very existence of dogs is, and what an injustice it is any time any one of these bestial, aberrant, faux predators. Faux predators? Why faux? That would suggest they're not really. Are they not? Is not your entire point that they are predators? Inconveniences or harms a person or an animal. Those who enact atrocities through the agency of a wretched, inhuman mutant canine. It would be kind of weirder if we had human mutant canines, right? They're particularly cowardly and cruel. Anyone who cannot see another person in pain without understanding how much it would suck if the same thing happened to them has no empathy. And dog lunatics legit seem to experience pleasure when they hear of dogs harming people. What the fuck? Think about this. Think about this. It's actually legal and even considered morally neutral to allow people to own something that literally wants to kill people just for existing. You're just going to talk about dogs there? I like zoos. I think people should be able to own invertebrates and snakes, for instance, as well, that have medically significant bites that can even kill people. All these nasty and vicious dogs clearly have instincts to annihilate life simply because it is there. What else we got? Off topic, ordering some mad honey from Nepal and Turkey. Uh-oh. Did he go on a trip? Did he go on a trip and, like, have some sort of spiritual anti-dog revelation? We have... Is this gonna rhyme? Oh, baby. Holy shit. Pit bulls literally have beady eyes. They look like they're plotting a not-so-brief demise. From the thing's POV, it's a neat prize to take yet another human being's life. Bred and born killers aren't sweet, lies, from dog-worshipping loons who seek ties to inhuman monster mammal maulers rather than other people. Sigh. To survive on dog-infested turf, gotta be streetwise. To expose these mutant turds, don't need a deep dive. Just a brief drive to any cheap dive. Dogs ubiquitous like weeds. I've got to get off this mutt-infested pigsty. Nowhere to go but seaside. Mutants always get in a free ride, living off us like a leech might, deeply damaging our species' pride. Yet so many continue to preach guides on reconditioning these beasts' drives to not be predators that always seek fights. Yet these creatures remain bloodthirsty like. It's in their DNA to take a deep bite. Holy fuck, I want to get a pit bull now. I understand the appeal. Alright, it's AI song time. Create. Oh, you can only put 200 characters in. Oh well, it's fine. It's fine. I've fed it to the AI song thingy. It defaulted to raw, edgy rock. Holy fuck. Song link copied. We're gonna need the lyrics because the vocals aren't necessarily the clearest. Pitbull Blues. Holy fuck. What's another fragment of this I should take? Let's go for this one. Let's go for this one. And get more. I can fit more. Alright. Generating? I didn't specify a genre. The description is flagged? Hang on. Let me get rid of turds. If I... Get rid of the second line. Song flagged. Maybe infested? Well, Suno won't do it. Suno confirmed white. White? Woke. Let's go for this chunk. It won't do it. Species pride might have been what triggered it. Let's try this. Couldn't generate that. Bro. Try the last one. Oh! It's going! It's going! It's going! Bloodthirsty Machines, Intense Electric Rock. Let's see. What are the lyrics gonna be like? Timeout occurred. Is it just all fucked up? Refresh. Sometimes a new tab helps. It's not loading on this browser. Irritating. Very irritating. You can't really tell the lyrics on that one. Let's grab Whalers. It's not loading. Not loading on my stream browser. Let's go to the one where it does load.
plotting and not to brief in life. From the things POV, it's a neat prize to take yet another human being.
It's these lyrics.
Born killers on sweet lives. From dog worshipping learn to sing ties. To inhuman must remember wallers rather than other people's side. To survive on dog-infested turf, gotta be streetwise. To expose these mutant turds, don't need a deep dive. Just a brief drive to any cheap dive. Dogs ubiquitous like weeds hive. Gotta get off this mud-infested big side. Nowhere to go but seaside. Mutants always get in a free ride. Living off us like a leech might. Deeply damaging our species' pride. Yet somebody continue to preach guides on reconditioning these beasts. Tries to not be predators that always seek fights. Yet these creatures remain bloodthirsty like it's in their DNA to take a deep bite. Blood-and-born killers aren't sweet life. Blood-and-born killers aren't sweet life. Blood-and-born killers aren't sweet life. Blood-and-born killers aren't sweet lives. From dog worshipping learn to seek ties. To inhuman must remember wallers rather than other people. Sigh. To survive on dog-infested turf, gotta be streetwise. To expose these mutant turds, don't need a deep dive. To survive on dog-infested turf, gotta be streetwise. To expose these mutant turds, don't need a deep dive. Don't need a deep dive. To expose these mutant turds, don't need a deep dive. Just a brief drive to any cheap dive. Dogs ubiquitous like weeds hive. Gotta get off this mud-infested pigsty. Nowhere to go but seaside. Mutants always getting a free ride.
It's so fucking good.
Deeply damaging our species' pride. Yet so many continue to preach guides on reconditioning these beasts' lives and not be glad.
Amazing work. Okay. What do we have? Let's watch one or two more. What looks good here? 10 things I hate about dog nutters. What's this? We're not gonna watch 22 minutes. They're entitled.
In fact, dog owners are among the most entitled people you will ever encounter in your life. They are the living embodiment of give an inch, take a mile. As a direct corollary of this,
Is that
dogs
Amber
are
Heard?
among the most pampered and privileged living
The dog stepped on a bee. Rags, you're in danger. He's coming for you.
things.
Okay. It's not off the hook enough. It's not off the chain enough. They're entitled. Okay, give me real madness. Wait. I'm on the secondary channel. My bad. Anti-Dog Manifesto new full version on second channel. Oh, he's taking a side. He's pro cat. I like cats. Well, I like sorbet.
Oh, you should never trust someone who's not a dog person. Nah, the motherfuckers y'all gotta look out for are the people who hate cats. People who don't like dogs usually have a very good reason
Is this the person?
for not liking dogs. Either they were bit by a dog, they know someone who was bit by a dog, they witnessed a pretty bad dog attack when they were younger. Like, dogs can be very aggressive and often they're big enough to cause problems. And those people usually have valid.
Fuck you, dogs 0. 54 subs. They can control cats too. With chip. I live feces attack every day on the same spot. I and my lady is sick now from those feces and pee spell. Got sick countless time. Same witches uses them for sure. Thank you, Yusuf. Yusuf Mambo witch nemesis. He uploads a lot of videos. This is like a poop scooping video.
Tek sinek göremiyoruz. Bu kanıt değilse ne bilmem.
I can't believe dogs did this to his living quarters. Wait, is this straight up the Resident Evil 7 house? If there's a bathroom at the end here. Okay, never mind. We're good.
Bismillah.
Bismillah.
Devam et. Devam et şoför.
It's the feces attack.
Taksici Fuat Avni. Var mı başka? Bu cephede. 2 kürek. Bunlar rahatsız değil.
Okay. The Meet the Fockers same nailed it. Alright. It's a clip of someone else. Here's Anti-Dog Manifesto New. Excerpt, full version on second channel.
Beware of dogs. A manifesto on the ills of dog ownership.
Holy fuck.
By Anonymous. Abstract. Dogs are seemingly worshipped by society, with few true benefits outside of perceived value and entertainment, coupled with severe detrimental impacts to society. This describes in detail the flaws of the persistent growth of dog ownership, especially in urban environments. 1. Introduction.
On a sunny day along the Linville Gorge
Why a
in North
different
Carolina,
voice?
I was on a backpacking excursion with a few friends when I happened upon a black canine of medium build,
Is this young adult fiction?
approaching quickly with a middle-aged woman who was another 25 feet behind. I began to make room for them to pass until I noticed that the dog's attention was squarely focused on the dancer, so far as to be blind to the shortcomings of themselves as the owner in controlling or preventing such behaviors in the first place. Blame is often left upon the victim for not being friendly enough, not letting the dog sniff the victim, or in this case, not having the right attire.
Not letting the dog sniff the victim. This feels very siffy-pilled.
A more apt response by this woman may have been, I am sorry I don't have my dog on a leash.
The
Or more
echo.
accurately, I'm sorry that I did a poor job at raising this dog. Or even more so, I'm sorry that I am prone to herd consumer behaviors, and that I substitute my...
The manifesto is very short. As a takeaway from this work, okay, we can look at the takeaway. We have the anti-dog call out drama. Dogs have been cancelled. Peer pressure to purchase. Yeah. Breeding dogs that have problems? I agree, horrendous. Dogs deeply damage the planet. How you can help. Here we go. Amidst all of these issues, people do. Yeah, sorry to anyone upset by the poor pug. It is horrendous what breeding can do to dogs when it's not done well and done irresponsibly, and aesthetics are considered above everything else. Ironically, resulting in a hideous animal, but more importantly, an animal that suffers. Forbes poll of 2,000 dog owners found that 54% of them regretted it. If that is the majority of people, why continue to fool ourselves into this perpetuated scam with few truly measurable benefits that frequently causes more harm and conflict than good? There's an origin story. Dog pees on man busy with mobile. Okay. Instead, just as humans drive the extinction of some animals, we are artificially propping the population of this artificial animal that meets the exacting definitions of both a parasite and a pest. I guarantee you it absolutely does not. As a takeaway from this work, consider the following. 1. Do not get a dog. Consider any other pet, preferably one that does not have a carnivorous diet. Okay, don't worry. I'll get some pit vipers. If you are a policymaker, restrict urban dog ownership. Coming down on this social virus reduces neighbor infighting, improves water quality, and creates more sustainable communities. Given the startling extent of the carbon footprint of dogs, a carbon tax should be considered as well. Holy fuck. Express your feelings about dogs. Share this manifesto. Oh, here we go. If you still absolutely need to have a dog, if you still demand to acquire a dog, despite reviewing this work with all the logistical, characteristic, and environmental implications, and have thoroughly interviewed all your peers, friends, neighbors to validate it will not bother them, perform the following. Reside in a rural location. This bothers fewer people, is better for the dog, minimizes maintenance, and does less to popularize dog ownership. This damn dog... He's commented on popular media, brainwashing people. Rather than purchasing, adopt. I support this. Yeah. Absolutely adopt dogs and make a donation to the dog rescue. I agree with this. In a vacuum, absolutely. This will help curb population growth. Castrate the dog at the earliest possible chance. If you adopt a dog, it's normally mandatory that you do so. This eliminates reproduction opportunity, but also reduces the probability of dog-to-human attacks. When collecting feces, flush the feces down a toilet without the bag, rather than placing it in the trash or leaving it on the ground. Do not ever bring the dog to any public location other than a park. You're okay with dogs at parks? I'm surprised. Genuinely surprised. Well, not okay with it, but as a compromise. Something that annoys me is when there are dog-friendly pubs that have like a you can have your dog here section, and the you can have your dog here section is like right in the entryway.
Pit bulls literally have beady eyes. They look like they're plotting a not-so-brief demise. From the thing's POV, it's a neat prize to take yet another human being's life. Predator-born killers aren't sweet lies. From dog-worshipping loons who seek ties to inhuman monster mammal maulers rather than other people's side. To survive on dog-infested turf, gotta be streetwise. To expose these mutant turds, don't need a deep dive. Just a brief drive to any cheap dive. Dogs ubiquitous like weeds, I've gotta get off this mutt-infested pigsty. Nowhere to go but seaside. Mutants always getting a free ride. Living off us like a leech might. Deeply damaged.
Nice. Where's my food? Dogs ruin Halloween every year. Debunking a debunking. Would nutters live on an island with only dogs?
Dog nutters are constantly going on about how great dogs supposedly are, and how much worse than dogs people supposedly are. And I've been telling these nutters for years that if they truly hate humans so much, they should find a place with only dogs.
Once you write a manifesto like that, you lose the right to call anyone else a nutter.
And go live there. Or take all the dogs with them and stop bothering the rest of us. Preferably a remote island with very little wildlife for them to disturb. Obviously, this is hypothetical, since dog nutters know damn well that a life without other humans would totally suck beyond belief.
Dog owners cooked. Dog owners destroyed. Would you live on an island with nothing but dogs, with nothing to eat? No, fucking. This is a good Chipman post. This is from October 2020. This is from last time around, okay? Donald Trump stole my summer, my Halloween, my ability to enjoy life itself for 4 years, and people who would later help him steal the presidency in the first place ruined my professional life and put me in a debt hole I'm still only barely back from for years. Fuck 'em all. Wait, how? How did that happen? I don't know the Bob Chipman story.
I recently presented this to one particular dog apologist, and he completely missed the point. But these dog worshippers are such hypocrites. They use the internet to tell us how much they hate humanity. They live in houses or apartments built by human labor and designed by human architects. They then provide their dogs with free room and board, and then act like dogs are their superiors, and even better than all humans. In order
When I have a dog, I control what it does.
to maintain the health of their dogs, they take advantage of the benefits of veterinary medicine. Once again, they use human technology to improve the quality of life of their own dogs. They purchase products produced by human-owned companies, in which people work constantly to provide them with everything from a variety of dog foods to all sorts of ridiculous luxury items for their thankless dogs. These are the
They're thankless dogs.
same dogs that would be just as happy eating their own shit, or rolling around in carcasses, surrounded by a bunch of other mangy mutts. These people live in a world that is built.
Are these anti-doggers real? Brother, 459 videos over months. Multiple multi-paragraph posts a day.
Built, run, and maintained by human efforts, and the fruits of many generations of scientific progress. Dogs can't take care of themselves without help from those who own them.
Yeah, we made them that way.
One nutter even admitted as much to me by
One dog nutter admitted that his dog couldn't look after itself. Yeah?
saying to me that the quality of life of dogs on an island with only dogs and perhaps a few nutters would be garbage. That
Yeah, they're a fucking domesticated animal.
is exactly my point, by the way. Dogs require care and maintenance from humans, and their very presence requires a high degree of social responsibility that is increasingly absent.
Hey, sounds like you're making the argument that dogs could be okay, but it's the people who are an issue. Curious. Dog Island is real! Debunked. Dog Island is real. Explain this. Dog haters can't explain this. This dog owns an island off of Scotland.
Though arguably, no socially responsible individual would choose to own a dog, at least not around other people, and certainly not in a densely populated city. But what this means is that dogs are the ones that require a service, which makes the term service dog contradictory.
Oh my god. We have to do things for them because they're utterly fucking subjugated. Does he think, like, chattel slavery means you think your slaves are gods? You provide them with everything because they're not allowed to get it for themselves.
Something that itself requires a service from you cannot also be the thing you rely on for a service.
That's the most retarded shit I've ever heard in my life. You're blind, you feed the dog helps you navigate the world. This is struck down just by observing reality.
This is just one of the many internal contradictions of dog culture.
This is a person who has no concept of soundness. This is amazing. He's got like an idiosyncratic understanding of logic, and then is only concerned with validity of statements and not soundness. So in the face of reality, his fucked logic wins.
But the bottom line is this. Many dog breeds would never survive without humans.
Like if he became convinced by this, all animals with fur also have wings. Dogs are an animal with fur, therefore dogs must have wings. Logically valid, it follows But you look at a dog, it doesn't have wings, so it's not sound. It's obviously false and doesn't relate to reality. But he'd be like, no, dogs fucking have wings.
Most would struggle and would be invasive if released into nature. Most of them would be helpless with.
That isn't logically valid? Of course it is. All animals with fur have wings. Dogs are animals with fur.
Without us. And virtually.
Therefore, dogs have wings.
All of them are useless to our species. And as I wrote elsewhere myself as well, whatever marginal benefits it is believed we are getting from some dogs would be overshadowed by the sudden lack of downsides in their total absence. And we would quickly adapt to a world without dogs. In the long run, hell, even in the short run, it would be for the better. I believe this current reliance some people have on dogs is even stunting medical and technological progress. But just imagine the squalid conditions of an island or a large area plagued by dogs.
Secret Shrek. There are multiple things that will make you think it's a dog whistle. It's not. This is really genuinely on its face about dogs. I'm convinced based on everything I've seen so far.
Imagine how violent such a world would be. Imagine how turbulent and precarious the life of every dog would be. A person on an island with thousands of dogs would not last an hour. Unfortunately, we don't have to use our imagination too much. We can look at cities and countries where the streets are absolutely overrun with these vermin, and we can see the numerous and varied myriad problems caused by their presence. We can look at neighborhoods.
India's got a big problem with street dogs, streeties. What is it, 20,000 human deaths from rabies every year in India?
Plagued by dogs as well. And all we have to do is imagine the horror on our hands if all of those dogs were able to roam free.
This is like the Joe Rogan meme. Imagine a society where dogs were just allowed to roam free and run everything, man. It would be fucking pandemonium.
Because once again, a big part of the illusion behind the belief that dogs are safe and acceptable pets is owed to the fact that dogs are largely contained and usually restrained in public.
Yes. As they should continue to be.
Even still, they are a major nuisance and an ongoing threat to people and animals. But just imagine if all dogs could roam freely and were totally unrestricted.
It's the Joe Rogan copy pasta, dude.
In their actions, including their mating and breeding. Any such world would surely be hell on earth.
They'd probably die out. But also then we would kill them if we were not keeping them and controlling them. I don't think he understands the state the state of affairs. It's like yeah, which is why you don't allow that to happen. It's bad to allow that to happen. Okay. The dangerous myth of the safe and gentle dog. Dogs ruin everything, and I mean everything. The existence of dogs is predicated on animal abuse. Ooh, let's go for this one.
Every dog is an atrocity. Humans...
How does it keep getting better? Rags. He said a bunch of things that make it sound like that in a bubble, but when you look at the totality of the channel, he's even said things that would counter it being that. I think he is just an anti-dog dementoid.
Took a perfectly normal-looking wild animal and created these monstrosities. They tell us that something which looked a lot like this was the original dog. But if dogs weren't around, and someone made a wolf look like a chihuahua or a pug, it would be seen as a cruel desecration of nature.
No? Why? That is what happened, and we think it's tight.
It would be akin to mutilation.
No, mutilation is done to an individual organism.
Frankensteinian venture, which would be shut down straight away. So why is it acceptable to do this to animals over the course of centuries, millennia, and longer stretches of time? What I just played...
Because they're animals. I think there's some, like, foundation missing.
That was a clip from a while back. It is still my position that what has been done to an unfortunate species, now long extinct, is a particularly cruel form of animal abuse. It is a perversion of nature.
I do not think the precursors of dogs count as extinct.
The reason many of us say that dogs aren't real
I don't think that counts as extinction.
Animals.
That they don't have the same allele frequency as whatever was before our current wolves.
Is not because we're suggesting they aren't mammals or whatever. After all, this is the definition of an animal.
A living organism that feeds on organic matter, typically having specialized sense organs and nervous system.
Neat Shogun, I think he's suggesting that whatever gene or allele frequency the population that dogs were derived from had is no longer represented even in wild wolves. Which is not the same as that species going extinct at all.
And able to respond.
It's, I believe, still the same species.
Rapidly to stimuli.
Obviously, this applies to ourselves as well. However, the differences between ourselves and canines are pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But you can easily tell, even just by looking at the two, that a domestic dog and a wolf are not the same at all.
Yes, that was the idea.
Of course, there are hundreds of breeds, and some are far more similar to wolves than other dogs, but they still aren't the same as wolves.
Yeah.
I am not talking about genetics. It is irrelevant. After all,
how is genetics irrelevant to this conversation? I'd say it's at the core of this conversation. What?
And this is just a comparison. We are genetically very similar to chimpanzees and bonobos. However, there is also a very obvious and very glaring difference between ourselves and these wild apes. We recognize it intuitively, that they are not the same thing we are. Even without...
Why do you think we call dogs dogs, and we don't just call them wolves?
Without any understanding of taxonomy, we know that a non-human animal is not another person or a human. The same, of course, applies to dogs. They aren't human.
My mind is being fucking blown!
But the main point is that what has been done to dogs, or rather, their proto-dog and wild canine ancestors, is a travesty. Dogs were basically created to serve humans, and this is not how you would treat an organism you respected.
It's not about respect, and it's not respect in the same way as you respect a human being and a human being's rights.
Dog owners seldom care about anything besides themselves and the dog or dogs they happen to own. Even those who seem to mindlessly worship the entire subspecies ultimately have self-motivated reasons for actually wanting a dog in their lives.
Look at what dog lovers have done to dogs over millennia.
Holy fuck, that top right dog is all fucked up. Top left is even crazier even.
An animal that is bound by the food it is given, the leash that it is on, the cage that it is in, and a defecation schedule is so far removed from a friend that the use of the term is tantamount to newspeak.
When people call a dog a friend, they're not using friend in the same fucking way they mean a human who is a friend. Bro.
The animal is unlikely to survive without its owner should it be granted free will, and therefore
granted free will?
Human dependency is its only means. The dog owner seeks to assert this dominant relationship in public.
Yes, these potentially dangerous animals should be dominated if we're to own them, yes.
Rather than
and it's okay to do it because they are non-human animals that are not possessed of qualities that humans have that grant them personhood.
In the privacy of their own home. At face value, it is more akin to ownership for human self-gratification than it is
Yes, you do own your dogs. Yes, it literally just is ownership. Yes.
to companionship or friendship. Dogs are man-made and nothing less, a distant relative, by 15,000 years, to a species of wolf long since extinct, that remains as a modern-day eugenics experiment. They are not naturally occurring independent of man, in any way, essentially making the term designer dog moot, as technically every single one is.
God. This might be the most autistic person I've ever come across.
Humans have further
The clear lack of understanding of use of language.
bred over 300
Believing in, like, essential definition of words.
species of dogs to look, behave, and perform how we want them to, and then judge them according to the look of each specific breed in a way that could be described as no less than xenophobic.
The xenophobia of Crofts. Holy fuck.
All dogs have breed-specific health conditions and disabilities that are byproducts of this custom breeding. Due to
Wait until you look at the nerves and blood vessels in a fucking giraffe. Wait until you see how fucked up nature can be.
body disproportions, bulldogs are near incapable of natural births and require C-sections approximately 80% of the time, and
This is bad not because it's a fundamental abuse and disrespect of dogs, but because of the specific outcome. Yeah, breeds where you fuck them up real bad, don't do it.
approximately half of them experience severe
There's some cool shit where people are breeding, like, pugs out of having that squished face, so it's still pug-like, but without the problems.
breathing problems. 80% of corgis and dachshunds will have intervertebral disc disease because they have been bred to have backs that their bodies cannot support. Retrievers and Great Danes' stomachs can twist to block.
Dogs came about from a symbiotic relationship with humans. I would suggest they undoubtedly had some kind of influence on our path. I think it's pretty undeniable. Obviously, we have much greater power over them.
The esophagus.
Much greater influence over them, especially now. Their influence on us is diminished compared to what it would have been in the past. But theories on how the first contact with the wolves occurred, and obviously the history of working dogs, which is obviously less of a thing now, it's really, really cool.
Due to the shape of their body, leading to cardiovascular collapse and immediate death. Spaniels are prone to rage syndrome, a form of epilepsy where they attack anything at random, in an unprovoked way. It is not uncommon for pugs to have their eyes dislodged from their sockets because their skulls cannot contain them.
Not uncommon.
Dogs do not naturally evolve to defend against predators or disease.
Because they don't need to. They don't have a pressure for that. That's true of like any domesticated animal.
This is all in the objective, ignorant of the costs, to make something, quote, cuter.
In sum, a great deal of dog lovers out there really should not call themselves animal lovers. Many of them only truly care about dogs, and honestly not even that, in many cases, when you dig deep.
There's a cool thing about dogs where they what is it? Is it they look at one side of your face? It's some specific way that they analyze human reactions and try to read emotion. I was reading about dogs in depth a while ago, actually. What's the other cool thing? The idea where the reason you can see the whites of their eyes is because it lets you see where they're looking or something? I don't know. Whatever. That's true of humans, but also of certain dogs. Whatever.
Maya Chavez.
Maya, thank you.
PhD, has become a member. Thoughts some pit bulls? Also 2-month gang.
Thank you for the 2 months. Oh. You want to know something really cool? Contagious yawning occurs between humans and dogs, and not between humans and wolves. Humans can be triggered to yawn by seeing a dog yawn. Dogs can be triggered to yawn by seeing a human yawn. That's kind of nifty. There's a cool thing about dogs learning stuff as well. One of the most effective ways to teach a dog something is to show it another dog doing it. Such as going into water. A lot of dogs will fear swimming, but if you show a dog another dog swimming, it'll do it. What else we got? Stop asking why I hate dogs.
People still ask me why I hate dogs. More than half of my many videos can answer that question, but so can this. Dogs have bitten me unprovoked on multiple occasions. Dogs capable of killing me have chased me out of certain areas. Dogs have caused me to avoid
Skill issue. Skill issue.
avoid entire streets in certain neighborhoods, just by their presence. Dogs have chased me while cycling, and one nearly killed me this way.
he threw a stick in my spokes.
Dogs have menaced me from behind gates, fences, windows, front doors, screen doors, and even from inside vehicles on countless occasions.
They were driving.
Dogs have made it impossible for me to enjoy the backyard in a house I lived in. I'm referring to barking, of course. Dogs have done the same with
barking do be annoying.
Porches in apartments I've rented. Dogs have kept me awake with incessant barking when I needed to be well rested for work.
Yeah, it's really
Dogs
annoying.
have nearly gotten me evicted or in legal trouble because of conflicts with their owners, who are merely their enablers.
Hold up. All this commentary about the responsibility of dogs. When it comes to himself.
ELLIE fed the streamer $1.99 super.
Thank you.
Harmful, can you play Lala dog video PLS?
I don't know what that is, but I can look at it. Dogs have nearly gotten me evicted or in legal trouble because of conflicts with their owners. My man hates dogs because he's jealous of their agency, which he does not have. Is it this one? I used to do that to Moose all the time.
Dogs have prevented me from moving into properties I would have liked to move to. Dogs have terrorized and annoyed
Dogs outbid me on the house I wanted to purchase.
Friends and family members of mine on their properties. Dogs have ruined numerous hikes, walks, exercise sessions, and outings for me. Dogs have attacked people I've known. This includes friends and family members.
Hold up.
Dogs owned by others have pissed on my apartment floor.
Why you let dogs into your apartment?
Dogs owned by others
Maybe he's talking about like a flat share.
have jumped on me without my consent, or have attempted to at least. Dogs owned by others have caused me to have to leave
The Rottweiler raped me.
someone's house because of the smell. A dog pretty much killed my great-grandmother. Dogs
Pretty much
have made various living arrangements unpleasant for me. Dogs have caused me to spend money to protect myself.
Dogs have caused me to spend money. Dogs are in full control. They know what they're doing. Anyway, dogs forced me to spend money. Dogs forced me to get into fights with people. Dogs are pulling the strings.
From the very credible threat of force their presence implies. Dogs have caused me to have to deploy canisters of spray and gel to stop their vicious and
Dogs have forced me to spray my own territory with urine. It's the only language they understand.
unwanted incursions. Dogs have made
Oh my god, the next
it to
one.
where I cannot associate with certain people at all. Dogs have wanted to kill and attack
Dogs have wanted to kill me.
me on numerous occasions for no reason.
Dog thought crime.
Dogs have
What
made the
fuck?
world I live in uglier.
This is where it sounds like dog whistling.
All around.
Ready?
Dogs have infiltrated the internet, the film industry, you name it.
And yet I don't think dogs are a stand-in for Jews or black people. as it often sounds like in what he's saying, because of how much there is.
Dogs took my job. My wife ran off with a dog. A dog flipped me off on the highway.
Indeed.
Dogs beat
Thank
me
you for
and
the
took my
20.
lunch money.
Pretty much. Dogs won prom king when I should have.
Dogs have urinated and defecated in stores I frequent. Dogs have left their nastiness in several neighborhoods I've
Why the fuck do you frequent those stores?
lived in.
I frequent stores where dogs shit everywhere, is what you've just told me.
Just all over for me to find. Dogs have chased me on the streets in countries where they are just infested with dogs, while inside a vehicle. That was a post I wrote some time ago. It went ignored by dog defenders, out of whom I did not hear a sound when it was posted.
Holy shit. Check the head of every major world bank, every single one. A dog. We need that chart where they turn people blue and it's like, who rules you? Dog, 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 dog.
Imagine having experienced all of that, only for these contemptible cretins to act like you're an evil person for hating dogs.
Is that meant to be a chinchilla?
When this is the impact they have had on your life.
This is too fucking good. We got any good ones? You'll never look at small dogs in the same way ever again. No, Chihuahuas are vicious as fuck. Setting the record straight, countering the lies about me.
All you ever had to do was apologize for your ridiculous outburst and self-reflect on why you would talk to a peer in such a disrespectful manner. To everyone else, remember, the topic isn't what's important. Put antinatalism to the side. Had it been a different topic, would you really support any person who spoke to me this way? Imagine that they spoke to you in the exact same manner, about any topic.
Relevant lyrics. The pinned post. Bringing up someone's depression in an argument/debate is incredibly dishonest and low. I expect this from a dog nutter. I don't respect anyone who does or says stuff like this. That wasn't the topic. My depression has nothing to do with my stance or your behavior. DCR's behavior is the real topic at this point. To anyone who has seen his unbecoming behavior and all the subsequent dishonesty and bile from him towards me, I only have this to say. A person who doesn't defend you while someone slanders you is your enemy too.
So this very much applies to dog culture. This actually applies to something that happened in the YouTube dog culture review ranks recently.
Dog culture review
There's a
ranks?
little dust up between me and Kanan, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about with that whole
Anti-dog infighting, bro.
situation.
Actually, there's not much to say on this, and neither of us should still be discussing it, even in passing.
Hold on. We are witnessing an intra-community clash. We are witnessing a clash between two people in the anti-dog community over their positions on antinatalism. How the fuck is this real?
But you just can't seem to keep quiet about it now, can you? For the record, this is exactly what happened. 1. You made a reply to a community post I made, which was about antinatalism. 2. It was clear from your long-winded and emotionally driven rant that you didn't have the best understanding of the actual philosophy behind it. And it seems you base your opinions for the record was an...
Thank you, Tenny Ball.
This sounds like a foreigner using AI.
It does. Let's see if we can get in.
As you said on your community post.
Imagine that they spoke to you in the exact same manner.
As
Hang on.
Start.
Hear this. Hang on.
Well, I get...
Top.
Oh, let's hear what this is.
Would you really support any person who spoke to me this way?
Well, I guess all the antinatal dog nutters I talked to in the last 5 decades need to check in with you. Okay, none! Because actually dog culture sure the fuck is fuck totally. Don't fuck with me, I have the proof. Hell does line up with antinatal and anti-child sentiment. Duh. But hey, I guess my half-decade of
dog culture is anti-natal. Therefore, you're on the dog side if you're an anti-natalist. I see where the clash is. All right.
experience means all but crap to you? We can both be correct on this, and I think we both are. Your little copy and past and italic version of my like it is cool was very immature of you, K-Nun. And I forgive you as you admitted you are highly depressed and compromised, as you said on your community post.
Imagine that they spoke to you in the exact same manner, about any topic. This is where I actually thought, I still don't understand why the hell you brought up my depression at all. It is exactly like a dog nutter's attempt at an ad hominem attack on me, when I am talking about something entirely different. Whether I was depressed earlier or not is completely irrelevant. My depression had nothing to do with calling your behaviour out. It is immaterial. I likewise don't understand why you then started talking trash about my use of AI voices. You seemed to be okay with it in the past. So, were you pretending this entire time? Well, that makes you two-faced, now doesn't it? Or are you merely using this as anything you can grasp at in a feeble attempt to discredit me before your audience? One thing I cannot stand is when people pretend to like a person when they really don't. The second the chips are down, you will see that person flip. You will see their true colours
the dog
show.
treats are on the table.
This is exactly what we have seen here with Dog Culture Review. This is someone who cannot, for the life of him, keep his personal politics out of what would otherwise be an outstanding contribution to this ongoing critique of dog
woke anti-dog channel exposed
culture, which we are all engaged in. And just to be clear, I never invited anyone to trash talk you. People are being honest and calling a spade a spade.
Okay, calm down, Hassan.
You being unable to withstand this scrutiny is not the same as me doing what you falsely accused me of doing. No one is forming negative opinions about you because of anything I have done or said. I merely highlighted your very real behaviour for everyone to see. Not once have you addressed or acknowledged said behaviour, nor your own role in any of this. You even made a video which, I will admit, briefly got my hopes up, because I thought it would be an introspective one. You alluded to having learned all sorts of things about yourself, and me as well as this community, yet your video was a big fat nothing burger. It was about virtually nothing. You at no point did any actual reflection or introspection.
Okay.
You literally was antinatalism. When the word you wanted was antinatalism, though you repeatedly used the word natalism when the word you wanted was antinatalism.
Oh, destroyed.
Pointing out research points about natalism and communism, I felt pretty strongly about my presentations about communism and natalism, claiming that I didn't like communism and that I didn't like natalism. And that's
I think you meant to say antinatalism there.
This is 2014 skeptic stuff.
But that's neither here nor there. The real point, at no point did you reflect on your unhinged behaviour, which it very much was. I do not need credentials to know when someone is an unhinged person, by the way. Just like I don't need them to know when a dog is being hostile towards me for no good reason, which is the exact same trait I saw you exhibit.
You think you're part of the anti-dog community? I think you are a dog.
You later claimed that people who use AI voices for their YouTube presentations are narcissists and sociopaths. So now I ask you, where are your credentials to be able to diagnose people? And can you point me to a single study linking these things together? I will wait, but I will not hold my breath. And finally, you continue to play the victim. You continue to say that you are just dissecting the situation.
I think we've got another channel to peep at. Dog Culture Review, a pro-humanity perspective. The purpose of this channel is to empower the individual and promote freedom. Hi there, viewers. In these videos, I will be dissecting the cultural effects of the modern dog culture. I believe these are great topics to expand and improve our understanding of the world. USA has 44% of the world market of these dogs' expense. So it is no surprise that dog culture has a profound effect on our lives. Okay. Dog culture perspective. Defenders of humans. Dog abuse in Hungary. Four-legged plague! I hate dogs live streams. Hitler, dogs belong in my luxury mountain retreat and the Jews will pay. Trump, no dogs in the White House. Trump is the anti-dog candidate.
Election 2024, and there's a lot of stuff out there comparing Donald Trump to Hitler. Here's just a little image search. Quite a few articles, quite a few people trying to get people to hate Trump even more than they already do by making more and more comparisons to Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fine. We're still a free country, hopefully. We have the First Amendment. But if we're going to do analysis, let's do it across the board. Let's also compare the Biden administration to Hitler.
Oh! He's got them! Caught in 4K.
Biden's administration used dogs to make Joe Biden look like some kind of wonderful dude.
Takes office in January. Not only will this be the first time in...
Just need to do like a pinch myself. This feels like I've eaten a poisonous mushroom and I'm hallucinating. Trump is being compared to Hitler. Well, which side likes dogs?
4 years, dogs will live at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, but one of the Biden family dogs will make history.
Biden did have a very bitey dog, yes.
Aw, what a great guy.
Which is presumably where we're about to go to right now.
What actually happened? Those dogs ended up biting a bunch of Secret Service people. So, while Americans are out there struggling for food, being bitten by stray dogs, Biden is spoiling dogs up in the White House, trying to make himself look good, present himself as an animal lover. Well, Hitler did that too. Hitler presented himself as an animal lover.
This has YouTube from an adjacent dimension vibes, 100%.
But just like Biden, Hitler housed dogs in a gigantic, expensive, top-of-the-line facility, like the White House, but it was Hitler's mountain retreat. This is where he spent much of his life. Hitler himself had German Shepherds, and Ava had dogs too. These little guys.
Oh, so thanks for pointing. I couldn't see them.
So while people out there in Germany and other places went hungry, while Jewish people were attacked by dogs,
you know, Hitler only killed the Jews because he needed food for dogs, and they were eating it all up.
Dogs lived up there with Hitler, living the spoiled life. Like all of these stories right here, dogs attacking people. So while Joe Biden sat up there in the White House, stroking on his dog, I'm sure, taking tons of pictures.
He has a dogs attacking black people playlist.
Making himself look good.
Specifically,
this is what was happening out in
dog attack racial analysis, intersectional anti-dogism.
World, just like Hitler. While Hitler sat up here in Joe Biden's world.
Sheepy's Web, I hate dogs live stream animal on control, unsolicited advice. Mark Dice, #1.
Just like Hitler. While Hitler sat up here playing around with dogs, thinking that they could give him advice and stuff, Hitler was way into those German Shepherds.
Hitler thought dogs could give him advice?
Out there in society, dogs were hurting his citizens, especially the prisoners. Those dogs were used against the prisoners. So if we're going to compare, Hitler to politicians, let's do it in a fair way. Let's
do it in a fair way. Let's base it on their position on dogs.
Look at the reality. Donald Trump didn't want dogs in the White House. that's an interesting one. But something else that's even more interesting, I'm not telling anybody to think that anybody else is Hitler, but the Trump administration and other people that are called out for being like Hitler, this is a perfect defense. Because Joe Biden...
Because you'll look fucking crazy if you make this argument to anyone on Earth.
Was all about
perfect
dogs.
defense.
He used the love of dogs to get into office. He used the fact that most Americans have dogs and worship dogs to help him get into office. And that's exactly the type of thing Hitler did. Present himself as...
Do most Americans own dogs? I don't think... There's no way that's true.
Animal lover. And then Hitler brought dogs...
More than 50% of families have dogs?
Up into this fancy facility up in the mountains and spoiled them, just like Joe Biden did with his dogs. So it's interesting that this argument that I'm shedding the light on for everybody, isn't it interesting that no other...
Meat Shogun fed the
Thank you,
streamer
Meat Shogun.
$20 Superberry. It just hit me. This is real. These people are real, and they roam free without straight jackets, and they vote.
It is absolutely true. Real. This is not... I think it's very clear that none of this is people, dog whistling, being like, yes, pit bull owners, ha 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 ha. None of this is that.
Politician has used that to defend themselves.
I know dogs are really popular. I'm just surprised it's more than half of households.
It's like nobody wants to talk about dogs, even if it's to prove their point, because they're so worried that the dog-loving Americans might take it the wrong way or might get upset.
What else is this guy? I like this guy. Time to end breed discrimination. The breed is humans, though. Holy fucking shit. This is the greatest thing I've ever come across on the internet.
Okay, we're over here looking at this breed discrimination deal. Have you guys heard about this? So, here's some of the things that they say. This is just an internet search. This is a political argument that we should all be part of. But I want to ask everybody to look at this differently than we normally do. So normally we would just argue this, right? Because it's stupid. I mean, they're controlling our minds by using certain words. What do they say right here? Breed discrimination is a law.
My Gamergate Roots 1. Yeah, I saw. Yeah. Total victory. We got the disclosure. I'll take another... Not really a scalp. As long as he discloses that shit, I'm happy. Just do it.
Policy that prohibits or puts restrictions on dogs because of their supposed breed. Supposed breed? I mean, do you see how they word all this stuff? They act like it's some form of racism, and they ignore the fact...
No. This isn't them going supposed breed as if breeds exist. This is supposed breed because certain breeds are not well defined.
That certain dogs can do certain things. Huskies have a lot of pulling power. Pit bulls have a lot of pain tolerance and...
Actually, I could be wrong, but that's what happens in the UK. Like when you're dealing with an XL bully ban. They run into problems with
a lot of prey drive that will show up within a moment. They ignore all of that stuff. That is discrimination. To discriminate against something is just to use your mind and notice the pattern of the way these dogs act. So, but instead of arguing, like I just went like...
The anti-racist pattern noticer.
Like I just did.
Do these guys know the phrases they're using as relevance or significance in other contexts? Are they just totally unaware? It doesn't feel like he's doing it on purpose.
Let's actually hold them to account then. Since they want to talk about discrimination, fine, then let's do this. Well, who is killed most by dogs especially pit bulls, toddlers, owners. Look at some of these. 81-year-old man. Another man, an older man, was attacked by dogs. So you want to talk about discrimination? Dog owners? Fine. Why do dogs discriminate against kids, women?
Oh, man. Why would you even frame this in terms of the dogs being discriminatory?
And seniors.
They're trying to apply what we apply to humans to dogs. Dogs don't have personhood. You can tackle this in terms of a problem and what's actually happening and who it disproportionately affects, perhaps. And which breeds in particular are more of a problem. But talking about it in terms of discrimination isn't really a convincing argument. Because then we're getting into bias. Dogs don't do that because they're fucking biased.
Women suffer some of the worst dog attacks. Kids are the ones getting mauled to death. 6 months old,
man.
6 weeks old. So let's talk about discrimination then. The breed that's being discriminated against is humans. About this discrimination. How come we are constantly rescuing these idiot, brain-dead mutants? Jumping in the pond, jump in the frozen pond, jump in the icy pond. The dog saves the owner thanks to quick thinking officer. So they even discriminate against this police officer that helped somebody, and they give the credit to the dog. These dogs don't do nothing except cause problem after problem after problem. And here we are going out of our way to rescue them. Meanwhile, we got missing kids getting snatched up for sex trafficking and other things. But we sure do deploy our community resources for dogs. So we're discriminating against humans. Dog culture, dog owners, and dogs themselves discriminate against humans and certain types of humans. Females, little...
That officer was specifically not saving a trafficked child when he saw that dog.
Kids and older people. What about police dogs? Yeah, those damn things discriminate against people too.
This angle is nutto mode. We need to send dogs to inclusivity seminars. Okay, what else we got? Lynch. Okay. Jason Terraria.
Giado
X245
I used to hate dogs. Then my brother got one and I realized it was all in my head.
Thank you. Welcome to the dog culture. You're safe for now. Lynch mobs and abolitionists. Working on the canine plantation.
Dog culture, critics, and the abolitionist movement. Does any of this sound familiar when you critique dog culture? Violence, resentment, disapproval, discrimination.
Holy fuck.
Controversial political issue that divided the United States.
I'm starting to doubt that this is real life. I feel like I'm having a hallucination.
When you talk about dogs, do you get discriminated against? Do you get a bunch of disapproval? Do you get resentment? Do you get violence? Yes. What are some other things?
Oh, slave owners' use of dogs.
They had banned publications. They had racist backlash. Conflicting goals. You know, some people that critique dog culture, they just want to talk about certain stuff, right? Conflicting goals within the dog culture critiquing. That happened within the abolitionist movement. How about conflicting views on politics? Did you ever notice that some dog culture critics, they just want to talk about the negative externalities that they want to talk about, and they don't want to talk about politics at all? And they even tell other people to not talk about politics. And they even tell other people to unsubscribe.
Dogs
from
are the
other
new
dog culture
cigarette.
critic channels if they talk about politics. So those type of things happened within the abolitionist movement. So let's look at this one.
You ready? It's coming.
So this is the San Antonio man that was killed, Air Force veteran. But I got this in the center of the screen right here. The city was called many, many times about this dangerous dog. So what do you think would have happened if this was during the times of slavery and someone would have said, hey, a slave owner is treating a slave bad? They wouldn't have done anything about it. Well, today with the dog culture, it's the same thing. People call and call and call about these dangerous dogs, this one I'm showing you right here, and the cities and the governments, they don't do anything about it. They wait until somebody dies. So it's like these people are slaves to dogs. They spend all their life dealing with dogs, feeding dogs, housing dogs.
Wait, hang on. In this analogy, the dogs are the slave owners?
And then the abolitionist movement was banned publication.
I thought I was following what he was saying, but the dogs are the slavers?
So this reminds me of YouTube channels that critique dog culture that get shadow banned. Or other signage, like say you put up a sign that says, "No dogs here, please," on your business or on your house. People will report you, they'll pull the signs down, or they'll go out of the way to break whatever rule that the sign is proposing.
No, he said it's like people are slaves to dogs. So I thought what he was going to say is like the dogs are like slaves, because the other guy was making similar arguments. But it sounds like his point is that the dogs are the slavers.
How about the lynch mobs right here? This sounds like when a police officer defends himself or another officer, or even another dog against an attacking dog. The lynch mobs of the Facebook people, of all of the city people carrying signs calling for the officer to be removed from his job and thrown in prison for animal abuse. Dog owners will quickly form a social media lynch mob if you're not pulling the tow line for dogs the way that they are.
Pulling the tow line.
Then, of course, we have the fact that they use dogs against the slaves. They use dogs to keep them in line. If you ran away, if you didn't do your job right, they kept these dogs around to keep them in fear.
And the dogs remember. We know what side the dogs were on in the Civil War.
To keep them from going too far. Plenty of good articles about this. The slave hounds, the canine terror.
I'm not saying a whole lot, because honestly, I'm mind blown. I don't know if I can function anymore. AI is the same as dog culture. AI is already here. The canine pattern recognition example. I don't even know what this could fucking be. I don't even know what this video could fucking be.
Artificial intelligence is already here. Dog culture is artificial intelligence.
Dog, I can't. Dog, I can't.
Today, we're going to look at an example from the world of canine sniffing dogs.
Dog culture is artificial intelligence.
So, first off, let's look at this little website. It's about the pattern recognition of artificial intelligence. So, artificial intelligence is pattern recognition. That's a big part of how it works. It doesn't necessarily make a decision like a human would with the prefrontal lobe. It's basing things on a pattern. And then it's deciding, is that pattern okay? Is this the pattern that we're going to repeat? And that's how dogs work too. Dogs do not have a prefrontal lobe. They work on a pattern. If you always feed them at 5 a.m., at 5 a.m. they're going to be jumping in your bed.
Holy fuck. I have some bad news about human behavior as well, dog.
Come on.
I've been infected again. It's a psyop to make me... I don't know, some of you newer people, I had a phase where for multiple months I ended every sentence by saying dog, and it's come back because of this.
If you always share your...
Thank you, Jason.
ジェイシンテラリアジャード X100 犬
bag of beef jerky or chips. Every time they hear that bag open, they're going to be bouncing up on your couch. And other type of things. You always come home at 5:30, but you're not there until 7:30, and then they poop all over your floor. They're recognizing a pattern, and they're trying to get themselves back into that pattern by the way that they act. Dogs are not smart, they're just recognizing a pattern. So the pattern with canine drug sniffing dogs and other drug sniffing dogs is that they get a reward when they sniff something, when they alert on something. The police officer will say,
right.
Good boy. They'll rub the dog's belly,
Is he going to recognize why dogs are used for this?
The dog's back, touch up on the dog, the kind of things that dogs do during like mating.
Their stupidity is what lets you use them as a tool. You can use them ineffectively and incorrectly.
Rub their belly, rub the back of them.
It might be that they're not suited to this, perhaps. I don't know. I've never researched it or looked into it. Their value is in their scent, their sense of scent, their sense of smell.
So the dog is recognizing a pattern. If I sniff something and make a bunch of barking noises, I'll get touched and rubbed and given a little treat, and all the police officers will say, good boy, aww.
I'm going to say that I suspect there's a little bit more to the training than that.
And so a big part of this drug sniffing is just pattern recognition. The dog wants the reward, so if the dog ends up smelling something that isn't drugs, the dog will alert on that anyways. One example of this...
One would presume you try to train them to do otherwise.
That I mentioned before is a drug sniffing dog.
Like if you train them fucking wrong, yeah.
Dog that gets a girl kicked out of school because it just sniffed some brownies.
Again, the dog got her kicked out. Not a system wherein the dog is the sole decider of whether the person gets kicked out or not. Surely, the problem is that they just went off of the dog signaling something. But
so
I'm not going to look into that. So
I'll put this
whatever.
story in
He can have it, sure.
the description if you want to see.
It's all the dog's fault, and not the procedure.
This one. So now we're over here at some canine false alert stories. So this is an example of what I'm talking about. The canine dog, they get a reward when they smell something. So if the police officer does a certain type of body language, like reaches into his pockets or lifts his hand up to give the dog like a little pet or a stroke, the pattern recognition of the...
Now we're talking about the human element.
Dingbat, no prefrontal lobe dog.
That can be done and enables people to have, for it to count, what, as probable cause or whatever? That's its own problem.
We'll just go ahead and alert. Start alerting. Bark, bark, bark.
Sounds like the dog isn't making a mistake. Sounds like the dog's being exploited to give an excuse to search someone when it hasn't found something. Sounds like the dog as a tool has been used in a corrupt way.
Or doing whatever it does, because it's expecting a treat. If the police officer walks behind the dog in some of these stories, that means the dog is about to get a treat or a pat on the back. So the dog, with its pattern recognition brain, is going to probably do a false alert.
Think of it like you have a
fed the streamer $2 Superberry. I haven't laughed this hard in months. Holy shit.
It's pretty good, Polly. A tool, a piece of technology for detecting drugs, and the officer can trigger a false positive. I'd prefer examples where the dog has not been signaled in a way that would make it do that, where it's just getting it wrong. Examples where it is not being effective.
It could be drugs. It could be all kinds of stuff. They always alert on random stuff that's up inside the fenders of the vehicle, the tire. You know, you could run over a bug on the street and the dog would smell the bug and false alert. So these things false alert all the time, and they also cost counties and police stations big money with the loss.
Okay, get more.
Citizens are toddlers.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
now you see all this subhuman sentiment, and then robots might decide to try to kill us, or
Oh, hold up. We're watching this part.
already having their decision-making abilities of their brain, prefrontal lobe decisions for this canine dog that they got running around with them. And so the police officers are already having their decision-making abilities of their brain stressed by having this dog with them.
Sounded earlier like the police officers are making a decision and making sure they get the outcome they want from the dog, which is a problem.
Even the canines that are being taken care of by veterinary employees and other shelter employees, those people are getting attacked too. This is a lot like the fear that people have of robots. Robots might log onto the internet and see all this subhuman sentiment, and then robots might decide to try to kill us or launch a nuclear war or something like that. We're already there with dogs. Dogs are constantly killing us, constantly attacking our young people that want to be veterinarians, and it's all because of their
I have a feeling if I'd watched the whole thing, it still would not.
little pea brain, pattern recognition brain. They want to treat, they want to resource guard, and so they see something that's acting a certain way, making a certain noise, and they go after it, and they will, if a human doesn't step in, these people will oftentimes just get killed. The dog will go until the person bleeds out. The dog can never kick in that top-down control of a human brain and tell itself, whoa, I'm doing something wrong here. I'm trying to solve a problem, but I'm making the problem worse. You know, people think that these
Wait until this guy finds out about humans.
dogs are solving all kinds of problems, but when they latch onto the face of an innocent veterinary employee, and even, let's just say that employee was doing something that she wasn't supposed to do. Maybe she slapped the dog in the face. It doesn't matter. You're still making the problem 10 times worse by making this woman have a terribly disfigured face, possibly bleed out, and now she has to go back to her family and live through all this trauma and guilt, and everybody's going
What is the problem that's being made worse? Obviously, the damage to this woman is a problem.
tell her that dogs are better than humans while she's walking around with this gaping hole in her face because
Who the fuck is telling victims of dog attacks that dogs are
Of a
better than
dog.
humans?
So this has been our look at how artificial intelligence is already deeply into our culture through dog culture. These dogs recognize a pattern and they just repeat it. They do it without making any decisions. We see this especially with the pit bull attacks. We see this with the people that and
What else has he got? Let's see if there's something I can actually engage with instead of just being absolutely just bedazzled. Terminator 3 was a warning about pit bulls. Not seen Terminator. Proof that dogs are evolving backwards. Oh, that's a good one. Hold on. What we got? Why are dog people so
Hey
feeble-minded?
everyone, we are looking at the prefrontal lobe again.
Okay, it's a prefrontal lobe episode. Let's try this one. Democrats are child-hating dog worshippers. We have the receipts. Political exercise.
Hey, what's up everybody? So we're back with the packs of dogs attacking people. We're over here on the YouTubes over at the I Hate Dogs video. So this is a video about a mom that was attacked by dogs. Well,
Oh, I Hate Dogs has videos. You just have to click on the video tab.
She picked up her kids at daycare. So this is a mom. This is children.
I gotcha.
So let's street. If you're under the age of 18, you got to get off the street. So this is all about gun control, evidently.
Okay.
Children with guns left alone downtown. Okay. So, gun control. That's going to help them get some votes, some Democratic votes. Meanwhile, it's dangerous to pick your kids up at daycare, but you're going to play this curfew game and gun control game. Okay. Now, remember what I told you guys. Wherever we find
too rambly,
this over-the-top dog worship and dogs being allowed to harass humans, what else do we find? Oh, yeah. There it is. Are you reading what I'm highlighting here?
Yeah. But if dog culture is ubiquitous, you find everything where dog culture is.
Are you reading what I'm highlighting right here? The more dog worship and the more that we find dogs being allowed to harass humans, we find this type of stuff right here, what I'm highlighting right here.
The root of child abuse is dog worship.
Yep. A little more highlight right here. You can read this article by yourself. Are you reading what I'm pointing at?
Oh, 62% Democrat.
D for dog worship.
D for dog.
D for dog worship. Auditor. D for dog worship.
He cracked the code.
D for dog worship. Sheriff. D for dog worship. Marion County Recorder.
D for dog worship.
Look, I realize that Republicans are all into dogs.
Yeah.
Even the Trump supporters love dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that are
maybe even more
over the top dog lovers and supporting communities that are full of let me go back.
Just not certain breeds.
The political parties that are in charge of communities that...
Thank you, Super Creature.
Has this guy said anything about the new police dog robots?
I don't think so. Not that I've seen.
Have over-the-top dog love and also have this. Guess what they are? They are this. Democrat, Democrat, Democrat. I'm telling you guys, I can do this all day with cities from all over the country.
Yeah. Possibly even
police.
Every city are for rabid dog worshipper. Okay, what else do we have? We have other channels too. Let's see what some of these other channels are like. These long videos make me think it's not going to be worth looking at. BC? Sign in to confirm your age. Okay.
Is Animal on Control?
Wait, does it play anyway? I don't really want to log in. Four-legged plague. Four-legged plague. Chihuahuas are evil.
I would not trust a Chihuahua. Those little things are evil. They bite more than like 10 times more than any other dog breed. This is my pit bull. Does he look dangerous to you?
I'm gonna show you that dogs are dangerous. I'm gonna explain the danger of dogs and how people shouldn't have them by paralleling them with the guns I own. I think there's a bit of a lapse of judgment there. rhetorically.
Oh my God! Never thought this could happen. He's never shown aggression before.
Does he get that this could just be an anti-gun video and he could be talking about himself? Bro, is this not a joke? How to release stress caused by dog nuts. All right. What are his videos like? Another friendship ruined by dogs. Bro. The phobia of dogs is not a phobia. Let's go.
What's up, everyone? You know, it's been here we go again with my intro. It's been a while since I made a video, but being as busy as I am, I just haven't had time to make one in a while. But I got a qualm, and it's dog related.
I got a qualm and it's dog related. I got a qualm. It's dog related.
So I figured on my way to work I might as well just film something and get this off my chest. Hopefully everybody's doing well. I still absolutely despise dogs.
Good to know. He's staying
Just
true to his
'cause
roots.
Haven't made a video or done any research in a little while. Does not mean I don't keep in tune with all of the dog lunacy.
Check the transcript.
I'll just jump right into it. I'm not gonna try not to ramble
All
too
right.
much because my drive to work is not. It's about 25 minutes, but I want to get right into it. I have a buddy that I've known since high school.
Okay, this gets cracked real fast.
And he's always been big into dogs. And
get ready.
You know, I've said this before. I really never liked dogs, but I never hated them the way that I do until I kind of started to see the big picture.
Get ready.
Seeing how much they attack people.
Okay.
Seeing what kind of diseases they can carry.
Okay.
Seeing how people have sex with them.
I hate dogs because people have sex with them. Why would you hate dogs for people having sex with them? Did you lose your wife to a Saint Bernard?
What? I never really understood the collaborative picture. How it's not just one or two dog owners that I know that act a certain way. It's en masse. But my buddy, he's always had dogs, and I've never liked them. He likes pugs, the ones with the pushed-in face that make that noise.
Pug your man. Pug your man. So his friend's dog died, and he's talking about how he didn't care.
So the fact that his dog died, I didn't say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," because in reality, you've had this tremendous burden lifted off your head. Well, fast forward to like maybe a month ago. You know, I said he really likes the bigger breeds.
This gets
And
amazing, dude. Prepare
there's
yourself.
been some contention even before
Fucking
what I
prepare
tell you-
yourself.
What I'm about to tell you happened. He sent me a video once. I think it was his dog. I could be wrong on that, but it was a video of a dog taking a dump. And I'm like, you know, I didn't really. At first, I'm like, oh, what the heck? Why would you send me something like that?
I saw a video from an Asian country where it was a dog squatting and taking a shit into a tiny hole in the ground, perfectly aimed its dump, and the X-Files theme was playing, and I lost my mind.
And he was just like, haha. He just thought it was funny. Like, okay, whatever. I'm not really gonna react to that. But then the more and more that he pressed me, he kept sending me more and more dog-related stuff. And I got sick of it. So I told him, Fred, I'm going to change his name for the sake of the video. Fred, I hate dogs. And I think he thought I was joking because he kept sending me dog-related stuff.
Oh no, here it comes.
I would not say anything. But I was in a bad mood one day, something was going on, I had a really terrible day at work, and he sent me something dog-related, and I wasn't in the mood for it. So I started telling him about
all the dog sex I've seen. I told him people are fucking dogs left, right, and center. Let me show you some dog videos, but
facts pertaining to dog attacks and stuff like that. And once he got the message that I was serious, I think he backed off that day a little bit. Every once in a while he'd send me something else dog related, and I would say to him, oh, typical, it's a pit bull, that's what they do. And really, the more he kind of laid into me, the more I laid into him, and then the more he laid into me, and then the more, like, it kind of just escalated.
Oh.
Well, recently, like maybe a month or so ago, he got this Rottweiler. Big old
dog.
Rottweiler.
Yeah.
And you know the Rottweilers are like in second place for attacks, right behind pit bulls.
Watch out,
Rottweilers
your friend's
are
gonna get them into number one.
vicious dogs that attack people a lot. I did that video on how that mom and her disabled son adopted a Rottweiler.
All right, he rants.
He gets this Rottweiler, and he starts
And then gets
sending
back
me
on track.
videos of him playing fetch with it. I didn't say anything. I'm like, you're asking for it, man. You already know I hate dogs. And I've told you this.
You're
but I would
asking for it.
expect that as my friend, you would be respectful and just say, hey, you know what? That's fine if you don't like dogs. I understand. I'll keep that to myself. You do you, and I'll just enjoy my dog. But I don't have to shove the dog in your face. That's not what's going on here. He knows I hate dogs. I've told him time and time again.
Okay, so he sends his friend stats. Says his friend is insane for bringing an animal that could kill him into the house. And let me get to this.
And I think that was kind of what pushed him over the edge. No excuse for what he did, what I'm about to tell you. But that's kind of probably what pushed him over the edge.
I don't know what the friend's done yet.
I told him he was insane. And so I'm like, I don't remember what I was doing. I think I was sitting on the couch. My boys were watching their fruit. They have this video on YouTube. It's
My kids were watching their fruit.
like a dancing fruit, and they like to watch that. And They're 1 year old now, and they like to watch the fruit. If you've ever watched that, it's just...
Kids these days, they're always watching their fruit.
Some dancing fruit with colors and music, and it's very stimulating to their brains. I would sit on the couch.
What a weird way to talk about you. Like, just the phrasing. This guy's definitely
Doing a
slow.
lot of nothing. And I get a message from them.
As a dog enjoyer, I'm biased, but I think it's not my bias. This guy's a bit slow.
I'm like, oh great, what now?
Ah! Oh, I shouldn't have the transcript open.
And I had to, like, it took me a second to realize what it was. Like, it was one of those things where you say to yourself, like, wait, what am I looking at? He sent me a picture of his dog's great big fat erect penis with no caption or anything else. I won't go like into detail on how long I think it was.
Why would you even say you won't? Who thought you would? I won't tell you how many veins I saw, but I did count.
This dog had a massive member.
I hate dogs because they always have sex with people and their cocks are so huge. Actually jealous of dogs. Feels sexually inadequate because of dogs.
And it's typical of these freaking dog nut, especially men. They see the dog has big testicles or a big penis, and they won't neuter it because they think that those are their balls. They think that that's their penis. And it's like they send it to people and like, oh, look what I got. And so I flipped out on him. I said, you know, what the H is wrong with you? And he said, oh, that's not, I think he said, that's not nice. Nothing's wrong with me. And I just flipped out and said, somebody who sends a picture of their dog's penis to their buddy is crazy. And I flipped out on him and said, I don't want to see your dog's penis. If you think I'm nuts for that, then don't talk to me. And funny enough...
So yeah, it is super weird to just send someone a picture of your dog's cock. I strongly get the vibe that this fellow is being fucked with on purpose, though, at this point. Surely.
He actually said, because he works with my dad currently. My dad got the same picture. Because I told my dad about it after the fact.
What
and
the
he
fuck?
Said, if it makes you feel any better, he sent me the same picture. And my dad doesn't hate dogs.
Mentally raped by your dog's co-worker's... Sorry, your dad's co-worker's dog.
But he's still disgusted by the behavior of this dog nut.
What the fuck is this?
And you know, we used to send each other like memes and jokes and stuff. And we used to talk. I don't see him pretty much ever. The last time I saw him was at my grandpa's funeral last year. Coming up on almost 1 year now since he passed. So the messages that I sent him right after calling him crazy and calling him a retard for sending me his dog's great big pink red rocket. And I just said, like, dude, what the heck is wrong with
I believe the anti-doggers call it the GBPRR.
you? I don't want to see your dog's penis. And that just offended him to no end. You know?
Sorry, libtard. No more dog cocks in school.
I'll just say
Trump's gonna get rid of every dog's penis.
this. I know that
Night Bronze Retriever.
and this is a tragedy. I feel like there are a lot of folks who either don't want kids or can't have them.
Wait, what?
And this doesn't strictly just apply to this guy, because, you know, I don't know that much about his life outside of work and what he tells me. But the biological drive... Hang on just a second. I gotta turn. Okay. The biological drive to take care of a helpless living thing, even in people who are, like I said, not married, don't have kids.
He rants about
but they
the
still
dog
have a cat or dog or whatever, because the biological
as a replacement for a child, and says that's what he thinks his friend is doing and stuff. And he goes on that rant for the rest of the video. Amazing. What else we got? I'll take a little bit more of a look. I'm just too blown away. I Hate Dogs live streams. We got shorts. Dog filth hashtag dog. We got videos. Dogs don't understand adoptions or shelters. Yeah, true. Use oxytocin to force dogs onto the innocent. Hold up. They're getting kids addicted to dogs with the love hormone.
So, Psychology Today decided to also publish this so-called study, this test. You see the headline: a mental health hormone is released when youngsters play with dogs. Look at the key points. Much evidence confirms the interaction with dogs have stress-relieving and mood-boosting effects on people. No, they don't.
Damn, owned. They don't for me, therefore not on anyone.
No, they don't. Dogs make people nervous because everybody knows that they can snap and attack at any moment, like they always
Then why is there dog culture, bro?
do. At least 14,000 times per day, but we know it's more like 60, 70,000.
What do we count? Dogs yapping or like dog bites?
So don't give me that. No stress relieving, nothing. You might get some stress relief if you're the owner of the dog. It's late at night.
Why does it have to be late at night? You might get some relief as the owner of the dog if... No, it's late at night. Your wife's not home.
You're both relaxed. You're laying on the sofa and you're rubbing on it. Maybe then.
Rubbing on it?
Strange dog walks in the door. Nobody feels more relaxed. So stop lying. Also, some people hate dogs.
Yeah.
What about them?
They're the others. Why not look at the fucking study?
Some people have cynophobia. What about them?
Did you say cynophobia?
Some are allergic. Some traumatized.
Yeah, you retard. Obviously it doesn't apply to them.
Because of a past experience. Attack. What about them?
That, bro, they're not gonna force you to have a fucking therapy dog. Hey, you were mauled, and you get triggered by dogs. Too bad. It's the best therapy. Here's your dog. No, you fucking.
But they're using these false studies to force dogs onto everyone without a care in the world.
If Kamala Harris wins, everyone will have a pug. In fact, we'll use dogs as a form of genetic ID.
About any of those things that I just mentioned.
That was one of Vermin Supreme's policies. A pony for every American. It will function as ID and a job.
The next one, positive psychological effects on children playing with dogs come about because of the release of oxytocin. Stop it. What is a positive psychological effect?
Why not look at the study? Could be based on the children's self-reports on mood.
What happens exactly? And how do youngsters play with dogs?
How exactly does a child play with a dog? How is this possible?
Generally, they don't play. They can't play. The only thing you can mention is a youngster throwing something, the dog going to fetch it.
Yeah, I'd say that would be one example. Yeah, that's a great example.
And it's rare that you see them playing like that. You're talking about the young.
Presumably for the study, they had them do it.
Youngsters just rubbing on them. There are no positive psychological effects. It's only the youngster being nervous, pretending to enjoy the way this turd-faced monster feels and looks with its deranged, retarded...
The only pleasure I can get from a dog will be how it feels.
Breathing, moving all around, looking all around, sniffing everything.
I like rubbing on him.
The youngster feels awkward, pretending to enjoy this hideous, goofy, turd-faced, food-obsessed monster, and nothing more. Talk to me about no oxytocin. Go to the next one. When youngsters and dogs play together.
Oh, he's gonna show this is the dog worshippers putting dogs above humans. What they really care about is that the dog gets a boost in oxytocin.
Dogs get a boost of oxytocin and a reduction in stress as well. Oh, really? Is that why they offer classes to train dogs to not want to attack youngsters? I've shown that several times.
Yo, that dog looks all fucked up. What a weird looking dog.
Some dog trainers offer courses to help train dogs to not want to attack children.
Yeah, presumably for dogs with a violent disposition that the trainers noticed. Or a trainer who thinks, I'm going to be super responsible and do that.
So, how can both of these be true?
How can this be true and training courses be offered to make your dog, train your dog to be less aggressive? I don't really see how they can both not be true. Or rather, how one contradicts the other. Gonna be real with you, my G.
Children be the source of oxytocin for dogs.
The source of oxytocin for dogs.
Yet
it's like sacrificing all the psychers to the emperor.
They're the number one targets. Over half of all people attacked is 13 and under, all the way down to 0. And you want to lecture us about how the dog releases oxytocin when it plays with them? No. On sight, dogs want to attack them.
Why weren't the children attacked, bro?
On sight. The smaller your youngster, the more anxious the dog will be to attack them. That's what happens. Don't talk to me about oxytocin and a love bug.
Love
these
bug?
turds the vast majority, almost all youngsters feel awkward. It stinks. It's dumb. It looks disgusting. But they know that you approve of it, and you will look at them in a more respectable way, I guess.
Wait. He's not about to say the dog is manipulating you to get access to children. He's fucking not about to say that. They want to eat the kids, but it knows you'll look at them with respect. What?
You could put it, you're going to praise the youngster, and the youngster wants your praise, so they do what you want them to do.
Oh, he's talking about the child. Okay, okay.
Which is itself disgusting. But now we got Psychology Today co-signing it. And they're trying to school people. Look at this.
Co-signing? They're reporting on a study.
Oxytocin children and dogs. And again, they shared that.
Bro, you could point to it only being 55 kids. You have something you can point to there. It even literally explains how they play in the article, bro. Come on.
False study, which I don't even believe. And again, if you really want to prove this,
my G, the study only included children who own dogs. In one session, these children played with their own pet dogs. In another, they played with an unfamiliar but friendly and tolerant dog. And in a third visit, they got to play with various toys, but no dog was present. This is amongst dog owners. You recognize that dog owners may perhaps have those feelings.
the dogs help people to relax. Check their blood pressure. Because if their blood pressure elevates, you're lying. You're lying. And you will never check their blood pressure.
Guys, I went to the doctor the other day and put this sleeve around my arm and then started screaming at me.
If you do, you'll try.
I don't know what was wrong.
Right, it'll be a fit.
Called me a liar.
A scam.
Take a look at this Cheddar Outlander. There you go, Legend Ben.
It's funny that they're trying to suddenly run.
Alright, this guy's cool. You ready? I think this one will be good as well. Dog lovers are the only zoo sadists in society. Holy shit. Communities equal the danger zone. Holy shit, this is all so good. Isn't that Adam?
Now, I don't watch No Jumper. As you can see, I'm not subscribed.
Oh, yeah. The podcast is No Jumper. I thought he was like, I don't watch No Jumper. Like he doesn't watch Jumper.
Even though he's well known. But I want to show y'all something.
Oh.
This was real strange. And I don't even know who this guy right here is. So, they're talking about some hood stuff, basically. He's sitting there.
Place your bets. Is he going to talk about slavers using dogs?
Rubbing on a dog. Why would he have that dog there?
It's his studio, isn't it? And it's his dog. I would bet.
And he just sitting there with the dog. Rubbing on it. As he's interviewing this guy right here. Look at that. How weird is that? How weird is that? Sitting there stroking
we need X-Files
on this
music.
Nasty, bushy mutt.
Most people
That
can't
is
even
so
tell
weird.
a dog is
and
there.
I speeded it up.
Dogs have been so normalized that most people can't even tell there is a dog in this video.
Now look at this. That dog walks over and gets right in his face. And he straight up ignores it. Never rubbed on it at all. He's not a dog person. Look how he's keeping his distance. He's making sure not to touch that nasty mutt. And this dude is a dirtbag for allowing that dog to be all up on him like that. Expecting him to be a dog person. This is exactly what I'm talking. It's a perfect
This is the alternate dimension YouTube drama coverage. Holy moly.
Example of what I'm talking about. This man is clearly not a dog person. All dog people, and I mean all, at least not a dog person with his dog. He ain't want to touch that dog. All dog people, they would rub on that dog.
Rub on that dog.
Rude and
rub up on that. Rub that puppy. Rub it good.
Disrespectful that turd is. This is what I'm talking about.
Turd is a big one for them. Turd and turd face.
They tell us that it's threatening to walk up to a dog like this, but they can do it to us.
What?
And this weird idiot dog nutter allowing his dog to be all up in his face.
Dog nutter is pretty good. The man we're listening to sounds like a
that
dog
this
nutter.
man is not a dog person. He shouldn't even allow that to happen. The dog should not be. This is the type of thing that dog nutters do. That I hate and that I can safely assume most
I've
other
been activated.
Let me say all dog critics got a problem with this. All people who are not dog people got a problem with.
All right, whatever. War on dogs. Your dog is giving you brain damage and cancer. It's toasted. There's a really nice cocktail in a cocktail bar called Prohibition in Chester that is a reference to this. And the cocktail is called It's Toasted. Very, very good, in my opinion. Can dogs teach children to read? Oh. Why dog love feels so powerful and real. What is this? This could have easily been like a Zoo Files
Why
video.
dog love feels so real and powerful. It's no secret that we are a society that loves our pets, and we believe our pets love us back. We believe it's real, partly because we have experienced.
Excellent analysis and so true. Loving dogs is the biggest con and waste of time, a trick upon humanity. When you liberate yourself from the shackles of dog ownership, it becomes clear how much of a hindrance it was on your life.
It firsthand for ourselves. We have felt it, so it must be real love. Or we can fool ourselves with it. For example, you wake up in the morning, you look like hell, and you wouldn't want to see anybody. Garber Mate, a Vancouver.
I'm not listening to this. Let's try this one.
There's something so pure and genuine about a dog. When you
I'm feeling threatened orthopedically.
have a dog in your life, it
You have
teaches
nothing to
have
lose but your
compassion.
leash.
They really understand us. If there's one negative thing about dogs, and there's only one, and that's that they don't live that long. Right after I graduated from college, I got my...
Starting the moment we meet them. In actuality, they're doing the same thing that everyone else is doing, without thinking for themselves. To some extent, we all do it, because we...
So this lady's just all about the dull, dry video essay. Okay. I might be done, boys. You might be done. But this has been a fun rabbit hole. Foxhole. Hello, Kanon, my personal psychoanalyst. But do you have credentials? I'll be waiting.
Dog culture is a lot like antinatalism.
Read out Jimmy's comment. He says, cheers for the tip. I've added that it's an affiliate link. I'm sensing a very binary reading of what my take in the video is. I run adverts every video. YouTube pays me. I love business, entrepreneurship, and capitalism. I also believe capitalism needs strong, well-enforced rules to stop it being overly exploitative. If I remember correctly, in his video he said one thing for sure is that I'm not a capitalist. But he loves entrepreneurship and business. Presumably he loves private property. What the fuck? Abe Awesome explained the point of the libertarian roots comment to him. Maybe that. I think perhaps he didn't fucking understand what I was saying until Abe Awesome explained to him. You can't have an undisclosed affiliate link. Well, you can, but you are not supposed to legally or by Amazon's terms.
On the surface, they might seem different, but if we look below the way that they represent themselves, down at the core beliefs, there are a lot of anti-human and other concepts that are very similar. And we have to remember, with dog culture and communism, socialism, antinatalism, they all have a surface thing that they want you to think they're all about. But
modern dog ownership really looks like antinatalism. Dog owners say dogs are better than kids. Maybe some who don't have kids, don't want kids, can't have kids, have a dog instead. For loads of people, the dream is a family with kids and a dog.
Many of their core beliefs and
I'd say if we're going to talk about dog culture, having a family and a dog is a big part of that.
Drivers, once you look deeper inside of them, are just basically anti-human.
Look at the pit bull defenses. They're nanny dogs.
And that's how we have to compare these. We can't just look at the way dog culture presents itself and the way...
Insane to have any dog around a baby. But pit bulls in particular.
Antinatal presents itself, and then make our comparison. We got to do kind of a deep dive, go back in time.
Okay, I don't know if I can do that. All right. You know what? I'm gonna call it. Right to the point. Dogs are not good. Anyway, anti-dog YouTube is incredible. Maybe there's some sort of supercut that can be done. Is this a vegan gains video?
Some people are still wondering why we hate dog culture so much. Well,
okay, let's go. One more.
It basically comes down to two things: their perverse priorities and their constant contradictions. Here are only a few examples of many.
Dog nutters when a dog, especially a pit bull, attacks a child unprovoked.
What people aren't asking is, what did the 7-year-old girl do to the pit bull?
Oh.
Maybe the pit bull was justified.
Dog nutters when a person justifiably
He can't be serious, can he?
shoots a loose, menacing dog.
No! That's gotta be a fucking edgy joke. God! Although I don't know Vegan Gains very well.
Please, no! No!
I just know what he looks like.
Dog nutters when a dog slaughters dozens of livestock animals for fun.
I don't really consider that like a huge societal issue on the level of other things that I'd feel compelled to talk about on the basis of me liking dogs.
Dog nutters when you ask them a good question.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna call it. I hope you enjoyed the dog nut. Hope you enjoyed all the dog nuts we found today. That was fascinating. We'll learn about the death of a game guy's meltdown tomorrow. I'm gonna disappear. I'm gonna go see my GF. I'm gonna go release a dog into the neighborhood. All right. Thanks very much for your viewership, companionship, your generosity lots of donos today on YouTube. Thank you very much. Until tomorrow, though, that's going to be all. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the dog-based AI bite.